cuộc thi quốc tế. nhà Hà Kiều Anh gây sốt. Đến tài năng, từ thành tích học tập đến kỹ năng sống, Vian đang cho thấy hình ảnh của một thế hệ Ricky không chỉ sinh ra trong điều kiện tốt mà còn được nuôi dưỡng bài bản, toàn diện. Thành công nhỏ ở tuổi 11 có thể chỉ là bước khởi đầu, nhưng đủ để thấy tiềm năng tỏa sáng của ái nữ nhà Hà Kiều Anh trong tương lai. Ái nữ nhà Hà Kiều Anh gây
We are live on Hockey Island inside Riley's mind to bring you the first ever Inside Out Classic for an NHL game unlike anything you've ever seen before. Capitals, Rangers on Disney Plus, Disney XD, Disney Channel, and the ESPN app.
I cannot wait to watch that with my kids. Hi, Ray and Pierce. ESPN is the home of the women's Final Four tonight. South Carolina and UConn at 7 Eastern, followed by Texas and UCLA. Our Final Four pregame special from Phoenix begins at 6, and we will also have a special courtside presentation of both games on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
A lot of folks in that beautiful desert you're looking at will be watching this one. U of A, Arizona, and Michigan squaring off tomorrow as co-favorites to win the national title at DraftKings Sportsbook. UConn has the longest odds of the remaining teams at plus 550 as they go for their third title in the last 4 seasons. Here's Joe Fortenbaugh with his best bets for the Final Four.
Best bets for the Final Four. Let's go in chronological order, beginning with Illinois minus 1.5 over UConn. You've heard it. I've heard it. Everyone's heard it. Danny Hurley, 17-1 against the spread since 2023 in the big tournament. Bookmakers have heard it as well. That number's factored into the price, meaning you're paying a Danny Hurley tax in order to play the Huskies. Game should be closer to -4 in favor of Illinois. We'll take the value at -1.5. I also think you could go under 139.5 in this game. 2 good defenses, 2 slow tempos. In the nightcap, we'll take Arizona plus 1.5 over Michigan. This game comes down to the Wolverines' 3-point shooting. 44% from deep so far in the tournament. For comparison's sake, Belmont was number 1 in the country at 3-point shooting this year at 41%. When Michigan's shooting falls off, so too will the scoring. That's where we take advantage with Arizona. You want a little bonus bet as well? Arizona and Michigan to record 6 or more points in the opening minute pays 5-1. Those are your best bets for the Final Four.
Thanks, Joe. And it's Friday, so it's our not top play going to Jake Shields of Highland College. Center fielder channeling his inner Jose Canseco, apparently. Yeah, he lost the ball in the sun, and it bounced off his head.
Off the dome.
And over the fence. I mean, look how far he is from the wall. That ball had to travel at least 15 feet. That was ruled a home run. So I'm sorry, Jake.
I feel bad. All right, enjoy the hoops. PTI is next.
That was fun.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. We were both off yesterday, Tony. Did you miss our viewers?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. You do this for the viewers? Really? Come on. You don't do it for the viewers. You do not do it for the viewers.
We do it for the kids. Maybe the viewers'
do it?
kids.
Do we do it for the kids? Yeah. That's so great. It's so great to think we do it for the kids. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. We are back, baby. In today's episode, Phil joins Tiger in missing the Masters. The women's Final Four is set to start in 90 minutes, and Jay Billis joins us for a breakdown of the men's semis. But we begin today with the Oklahoma City Thunder answering all questions about how much of a challenge the Lakers posed to them by beating the Lakers last night by 43 points, 139-96. In that game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and just 1 turnover in 30 minutes on the court. And in that game, Luka Doncic went out in the third quarter with a bad hamstring, and in his 26 minutes, Doncic had just 12 points on 3 of 10 shooting and 6 turnovers. Wilbon, what does this game say about the Thunder, and where does it leave the Lakers?
Well, it said about the Thunder exactly what we knew it would say. They're the champs, and they got tired of a little gnat buzzing around their heads, and that gnat happens to be sort of treated royally in most quarters, the Los Angeles Lakers, and deservedly so. And it says about the Lakers, Tony, is not the loss, it's bad enough, and that would say something. But Luka pulling up lame on that hammy with a week to go in the regular season, so 2 weeks to go before the playoffs, that's bad. Even with, LeBron James in a role that he can expand or contract or do anything he can, and he does because he's LeBron James, it's still Luka, who's the player of the month of August, Luka, who's appearing on everybody or most people's top of the MVP list the last few weeks. No Luka, or Luka limping around the Lakers wouldn't struggle anyway against OKC, San Antonio, Denver, maybe even Houston and Minnesota. And now this, but about the champs, it said, we're tired of this. We'll guard whoever you put out there, however great they are, whatever they're called, whatever category. We got waves of them. Bring them on.
Yeah, my inclination initially is to look at a game like this with a 43-point spread, just a beatdown, and say that where it leaves the Lakers is at the side of the road waiting for the AAA truck to show up. But I mean, let me also add this, because I don't want to be too hasty here. The Lakers get to play Oklahoma City next Tuesday in Los Angeles.
In
if
LA.
they were to win that game, that negates a lot of these impressions. If they were to play very well and Luka was healthy and played very well, then every conversation is back on the table, including MVP. But it is also true that what happened last night was a big punch in the face for the Lakers and a standing 8. What it says about the Thunder is pretty much what you said. You know, they're a really good team. They played really well, and they destroyed the credibility of the Lakers. But, and this is a very big but, it is not the Lakers who are the large object in their rearview mirror. No, it's not.
That's right.
It's the Spurs
Good point, Tony.
who are the large object in their rearview mirror.
Yeah.
And the Thunder's, I think, 14-1 or 15-1 since March 1st. But the Spurs are 28-2, something like that, since February 1st. And the Spurs have beaten them 4 out of 5. So this game, Mike, this game does not affect that at all.
It does not. Tony, 2 good points you made. That one and the first one. These declarations have to be temporary. You and I have covered enough, like 100 total seasons of NBA between us, and we know what happens next week can reverse what happened this week. But that's on the Lakers. Right. That's now on the Lakers. It's your serve. What are you going to do? The Masters begins next week, and it will be without 2 of the golfers who have defined it and the sport for decades. 5-time winner Tiger Woods is seeking treatment following his arrest on suspicion of driving while under the influence, and 3-time champ Phil Mickelson withdrew yesterday, saying that he'll be away from the sport for an extended period to, quote, allow his family to navigate a personal health matter, close quote. Tone, the first Masters without Tiger and Phil since 1994. Has you feeling how?
It has me feeling sad. Of course it has me feeling sad, because one of the players who's not going to compete in the Masters is apparently under the influence of a drug problem. And one of the players who's not going to play in the Masters is apparently under the influence of a family health matter. So these are not injuries. These have nothing to do with golf. That's what makes me sad here, the extent to which these people have to change their lives. It also feels sort of like the end of an era, but again, let me not be too hasty about that, because in 2019, when Tiger couldn't play and nobody had seen him, he came back and won the Masters in his 40s. And Phil Mickelson, a couple of years ago, when he was 52, finished second in the Masters. So I don't want to write him off. I don't want to write him off completely. I don't want to do that, though I don't know how competitive they'll be. But I do want to say this, okay? These people, these 2, are the most important golfers in the last 30 years. Tiger has 5 green jackets. Only Jack Nicklaus has more. Phil has 3 green jackets. Only Tiger and Jack and Arnold Palmer have more. They got 8 between them, Mike. And if you look at people ranked number 1 for long periods of time in the last 10 to 15 years, Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, who else am I leaving out? Scotty Scheffler, and come on, I wrote it down. All right, it doesn't matter. I'll get to it at some other point. They've got 6 among them. Jordan Spieth. They've got 6 among them. These guys have 8. I mean, their dominance is so important.
It is. And I feel 2 ways about it. I wonder about this because basketball has it coming. There's going to be some postseason that doesn't include LeBron and Steph, or LeBron and KD and Steph. And the sport has to go on. They do. They have to go on. And so the golf is in that place right now with Tiger and Phil. And there's a sadness first. My first response is these guys not being there for these specific reasons. It just sort of casts a pall initially. Yes. But, Tony, even if they come back and they're competitive once each, one time more, or something like that, which we both would wildly applaud, they're capable guys out there. You mentioned Scotty Scheffler. Golf seems to be in as good a hands as the sport could be competitively without those guys, as good as it can be right now.
Yes and no. because they were also not only the greatest players, they were the most popular players. Everybody loved them. Scotty Scheffler is number one. He is not beloved. Not like these guys.
No.
Maybe he will be in time.
They got to
He's
work
not
on
like
it.
these
Long
guys.
way to go.
Yeah, let's get to the college basketball being played tonight and being played right near where you are right now in Arizona. Phoenix is hosting the women's Final Four. I'm sure, Mike, somebody would send a car for you if you want to go. All four number one seeds have reached this point. UConn will play South Carolina in the early game. UCLA will play Texas in the late game. Wilbon, does UConn or UCLA face the tougher test?
This isn't close. And yes, I will be here not going to the games today, but certainly planning to be at Sunday's national championship final. This isn't close. Texas, the current Texas regime, doesn't have any national championships. Do they? The answer is no. So UCLA is playing a team that, yes, it lost to earlier this season, so they sort of have the revenge factor going for them. But no, UConn is playing a worthy current champion, a champion once removed, a school and a coaching staff, Dawn Staley, with 3 national championships, and that would be 2 more than Geno and UConn since 2017. So this ain't close. South Carolina got their clocks cleaned. Who said that years ago? And a year ago by UConn, they were down by 100. They lost by like 23. Talk about revenge motive. South Carolina, Tony, I will take South Carolina right now to win the first game tonight. Not cover and all your get a bookie, DraftKings junk. To win the game, South Carolina to beat UConn tonight. That's what I'm taking. So that question is an easy answer.
Yeah, so I'm going the other way on that. If you had asked me to write a bracket 3 weeks ago when this began, I would have put UConn in the final game and I would have put them in ink because they've now won 54 straight games and they're beating people by 1 million. I will give you this. South Carolina has won this thing recently. Okay, not years and years ago, 2022 and 2024. Forget 2017. Like, this is not a long time ago. They've done that, and they do have Dawn Staley, who's got 3. And so they have to be given a chance, a good chance. But I look at what happened last year in the final. That was 23 points. That's significant to me. That I will say this, Mike. I think that Texas has great wins this year. They beat UCLA and they beat South Carolina twice.
They do.
Texas may actually be underrated at the moment. And I think Texas can beat or should beat UCLA, but I will, unlike you, I will be less surprised if UCLA wins that game than if UConn loses. That would be, for me, the biggest surprise. So we differ on this. Let's take a break. But coming up, we will ask Jay Billis who he favors in tomorrow's men's games.
We'll also ask him what Tommy Lloyd's stand in Arizona means for UNC's head coaching search. How's that historical note going for you with UNLV and Duke when they went back-to-back years and somebody won by 40 the first time? How'd that work out the next?
Okay, it's just a laxative. How scary could it be?
Honey, relax. It's Miralax. It works with the water in your body for gentle relief.
Relax. It's Miralax. For more fiber per serving than any other gummy, try Mirafiber.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Twice yearly PrEP is here. One office visit every 6 months. 2 times a year for HIV prevention. That's 1-2 PrEP. That's Yes2Go. Yes2Go is an injectable prescription medicine that helps to protect against HIV through sex. 1 office visit every 6 months. 1 during your winter glam. And 1 during your summer glow. 1 during your winter time. And 1 during your summer shine. You must be HIV negative to receive Yes2Go and get tested for HIV before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your healthcare provider right away. HIV testing may be needed. Yes2Go does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex and get Yes2Go as scheduled. Missing doses increases your chance of getting HIV. Tell your provider about your medical conditions if you are pregnant or plan to be, and all the medicines and supplements you take, as Yes2Go may affect some medicines. The most common side effects are injection site reactions, headache, and nausea. Rare serious injection site reactions can occur, so tell your provider about any side effects. 99.9% of people stayed HIV negative. Ask a healthcare provider if Yes2Go is right for you. 1-2 PrEP.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor, where heat meets pineapple sweet, where chicken meets the sizzle of the grill, and where fans meet their favorite. Chicken Al Pastor, where fire meets flavor.
You gesture, the world responds. Any car that doesn't offer that sense of control is a car that stops short of amazing.
Sometimes the best way to tell people you love them is to let a grill full of Kingsford do the talking. Kingsford, savor it.
Exclusively on ESPN, a star-studded premiere event.
Get your popcorn!
On the grandest stage in women's college hoops. The Final Four, tonight on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app.
Michael can go all the way. Right to the top. By himself. Wouldn't that be something? I want you to look at that wall. I want you to believe that you can touch it. You can't quit.
I want to be who I want to be.
Do whatever you want. I own you from 9 to 5.
I need to start living my own life, just like everyone else.
You ain't like everyone else.
Michael, rated PG-13.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Say hello. Hello. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Get one of these Jimmy John's sandwiches, chips, and a drink for $8.99. Choose Turkey Tom with all-natural turkey or Pepe with smoked ham and provolone. Delicious. The $8.99 meal deal for a limited time at Jimmy John's. Oh, that's good.
Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, we actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Very lucrative.
Oasis Breeze, Tan and Spa.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
The United Football League on ESPN is back. New teams, new rules, and more access inside the action. This is football reimagined. Saturday on ESPN and Sunday on NFL Network.
We're about 24 hours from tip-off of the men's Final Four, which makes it a perfect time for a visit from our great friend, the ever-dashing ESPN college basketball analyst Jay Billis in Indianapolis, outdoors at the moment. Let's start with this. The early game tomorrow is 3-seed Illinois against 2-seed UConn. Illinois is a slight light favorite. Is that how you see this game?
I actually have UConn as a slight favorite in the game. These two teams played earlier in the year in late November. I don't think that game really matters because Illinois point guard Keaton Wagler, a freshman, didn't have ball handling responsibilities in that game. Kylan Boswell was handling the ball more often. He had 25 in that game. But I think that game's kind of irrelevant with regard to this because both the teams are substantially different. But Illinois poses UConn some interesting issues because they're excellent offensively. And what Illinois does really well is they hunt out matchups. They'll hunt out the weakest defender, and they do a great job with ball screen angles so they can get a switch and then attack the switch that they get. They did that very effectively in the second half against Iowa in order to get here. But UConn runs such beautiful offense, and Terrace Reed Jr. is going to be their biggest problem because of his size. I mean, he's averaging close to 23 points a game in the tournament and 13.5 rebounds. But Alex Karaban, I think, is a key on both ends of the floor. And if UConn were to win the championship this year, Alex Karaban will have 3 championships in his career. That would make him the only non-UCLA player in history to have 3 national championships.
Wow.
That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. We'll stay on UConn for a second, Jay. And the word demonstrative certainly seems fair when describing Dan Hurley, who you know pretty well. Last week he had the forehead taps with officials, being the latest incident. You know him well. You've known him for a long time. Give us just your sense of Dan Hurley, just sort of the picture of who he is and how he is in a situation like this.
I love Dan Hurley. You guys know, I mean, he's from a family of basketball royalty with Bob Hurley Sr. in the Hall of Fame, and Bobby Hurley, arguably the best point guard to ever play college basketball. But Dan is unique, and he's old school in the way he coaches. He's new school in the system he uses. It's like watching a European pro team out there, very creative, especially offensively, but he's really quirky. Like, he's a high-character person and coach that is a character. And, back in the day, in the 80s, 70s, we had a bunch of characters. We don't have as many now. It's more corporate. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry now. But Dan is really quirky. He wears the Superman underwear and the socks, and he's really superstitious, and he burns incense on the floor before games and puts garlic under the stands and all that stuff. I can't imagine that helps, but if he thinks it helps, that's great. But I love having a character like Dan in the game.
Jay, the second game, Michigan and Arizona seems just irresistible. One of the irresistible matchups in recent years to me. How do you separate the two?
The one separator, Michael, that I think could be there is the free throw line. Arizona is a pounded inside team. They play inside out. They make threes, but they don't take a lot of them. They shoot a really good percentage, like 38% as a team from three, and Braden Burry is an outstanding three-point shooter. He's their best shooter and top scorer. But they like to pound the ball inside, and as a result, they get to the free throw line a lot. Arizona has made more free throws than their opponents have attempted. In fact, they've made 100 more than their opponents have even shot. So that means if their opponents had made 100% of their free throws, Arizona's outscored their opponents by 100. And so Michigan being able to play really good defense and be physical without fouling is going to be important. And Michigan is a really good interior defensive team. Adai is one of the best shot blockers in the country. They've got size and bulk as well. So that's going to be a key, is who wins the battle of the paint. And then the glass is going to be important. And when you've got to send everybody to the defensive glass, that can affect your transition as well, because it pulls everybody in, so it makes it a little bit tougher to run.
Let me get you out of here on this, and it's news today. Arizona coach Tommy Lloyd is going to stay out west with Arizona rather than leave for the North Carolina job. What does this mean for Arizona, and where does this leave the Tar Heels?
Well, it's more of the same in the college basketball industry. Anytime there's a coveted job open like North Carolina, and North Carolina happens to be the program now, they wind up making coaches a heck of a lot of money because the schools they feel insecure that their coach may leave, so they sign them to extensions. The coaches can get more money for the program, for their staffs, all that stuff. And I thought Tommy Lloyd handled it beautifully. And Dusty May, the same thing. I always thought that Skip Prosser, the late, great Skip Prosser, when he was at Wake Forest, had the best answer. When anybody asked him about a job opening, he would say, I don't talk about my job status. It ended all the discussion, but you could still make people feel a little insecure, because when coaches have leverage, they have to use it. When they're not winning, the school is the one that has leverage, and they're the ones that are insecure. When they have leverage, they have to use it, and I think Tommy Lloyd did a great job of using it. But North Carolina just pushes them a little further out, and they could wind up going to options that are further down the line. But they're having to wait now. They got to wait. Maybe if they're after Billy Donovan, they got to wait till the NBA season ends. If they're after Dusty May, they got to wait till this ends. And Dusty May's taken the Skip Prosser line, and I think he's been really smart in doing that.
Thank you so much, Jay.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Jay.
the
Appreciate
Final Four.
Thank you. Great being with you.
Let's take one last break. Still to come, did Cam Boozer deserve to win the AP Player of the Year?
And LeBron says the NBA should move out of Memphis? Really? Billy Donovan's season's going to be over in about 12 minutes. They ain't got to wait long for Billy Donovan. They should just declare their season over now. They only give up 135 a game over the last 5 or 6.
Girls, your Hendrix meals!
Bobby! Shh. Okay, coast is clear. Ooh, gimme. Grab me a McShaker fries and 10-piece McNuggets.
With 2 sauces.
And photo cards for the fans.
Nice.
My little soda pop.
Zoe, pick our meal. Okay, you got this. It's just a laxative. How scary could it be? You can do hard things.
Honey, relax. It's Miralax. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften for gentle relief.
Relax. It's Miralax.
Buy Avatar Fire and Ash now only on digital.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
I am the mayor!
Witness the greatest chapter in the Avatar saga at home. Add Avatar Fire and Ash to your movie collection today.
With long-lasting battery life on the Dell PC, you have all the power you need for whatever the day and night brings.
I used to think that nothing can stop me. Then I faced bladder cancer and even leaks an opponent I could not run. But I knew I had to stay in the game. So take it from me. Don't be afraid to try the pin guards. It changes everything, but you.
Guys, no feet on the court?
I'm sorry, I thought these were the extra legroom seats.
No.
Had more legroom on the flight here.
Can't wait to get back on that plane.
I need to get my lineups in before tip.
Just follow me on Prize Picks. Copy mine.
Okay, that's the only thing I'm a copy. You know I'm original. I did this first.
You original.
Download Prize Picks. New users play $5 and get $50 instantly in site credits.
These eyes love a
These go classic every time.
These eyes change the outfit.
These are the outfit.
Got your prescription ready? Let's talk style at America's Best.
Sometimes the best way to tell people you love them is to let a grill full of Kingsford do the talking. Kingsford, savor it.
I'm not him. I'm not Jack.
Because a car that doesn't make you feel recognized is a car that stops short of amazing.
One-a-day 50-plus multivitamins are formulated for your overall health with nutrients to support brain and muscle function. So you're not just setting the pace, you're one step ahead.
Next time, slow down.
One-a-day 50-plus, the one for you.
We had no idea what we were capable of. It was time for us to change things.
The most affordable German-engineered car brand is also the most fun. Get in the driver's seat today. Get 0.9% APR or a $1,000 customer bonus on a select new 2026 Tiguan during Volkswagen Driver Days.
Creamy, crunchy, chocolatey dipped Greek yogurt goodness. Yasso, love it or it's free.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel how to help bring back the $1 slice. Suddenly, Hank says, you gotta try this place kind of thing.
All right, thank you.
Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles the spreadsheets.
We'll give you this for a better deal on that.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal.
Harlem has everything, but I couldn't find Pilates anywhere. So I started my own studio. And with the right help, I can make this place I love even better.
Earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card from Chase for Business.
Happy time, people. Happy 24th birthday to The Miz. The full name of the young Brewers ace is Jacob Mizorowski, but calling him The Miz keeps us from having to spell it in scripts. Also enables Wilbon to chant it repeatedly throughout the season. And he's already had reason to do so. The Brewers have won both of the Miz's early starts, and he struck out 18 batters across 11 innings. Wow. His fastball touched 101.1. In Wednesday's win over the Rays, it seems like every year we wait for the Brewers to fall apart, and they never do. This appeared to be a rebuilding year, but once again they're atop the NL Central with a record of 5-1.
Tony, they may skip right over rebuilding indeed, but beating the White Sox 3 times to start the season, the White Sox should be relegated. They may be worse than they were a couple of years ago, so I don't know what that means for the Brewers just yet.
Happy anniversary, Michigan. On this day 37 years ago, the Wolverines won the national championship in overtime, beating Seton Hall when Ramil Robinson stepped to the line and hit 2 free throws with 3 seconds left. Glenn Rice had 31 in that title game and 184 for the tournament, a record that still stands. The Wolverines were coached by Steve Fisher, who got elevated to the job just hours before the tournament, when Bill Frieder announced he'd agreed to leave for Arizona State after the tournament, and AD Bo Schembechler fired him, saying he wanted a Michigan man coaching Michigan.
I'm with my man Jalen Rose when he says to the current Michigan players, love you guys, but don't get carried away yet talking about greatest team ever, because these guys won. Not just Glenn Rice, Ramil Robinson, Terry Mills, Lloyd Vaught, and the next Michigan team, Jalen's own Fab Five. They got further. So, Michigan's got these Michigan kids. They're great. They got some work left.
Happy trails to last night's start for Carter Jensen. The Royals removed their rookie catcher from the starting lineup before last night's game against the Twins because he overslept and showed up to the ballpark too late to adequately prepare. Salvador Perez, who'd been planning to DH, caught the game instead. Jensen did eventually enter the game in the ninth and told the Kansas City Star afterward, quote, I didn't wake up to my alarm, slept through it. Don't really have an excuse, nor should I. It sucks. It happens. I feel like I let teammates down, coaches down. Just know it won't happen again, unquote. The 22-year-old was aware of his awakening challenge back in the spring when he told the Royals social media team that he needs 6 to 8 alarms to wake up.
We've all overslept. I still have nightmares about oversleeping my last final exam in college. Come on, stop. We've all done it. The apology should be sufficient.
One omission, promising Cubs starter Cade Horton left today's game against the Guardians in the second inning with right forearm discomfort. Your reaction? That's it? That's your reaction?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the big finish. Victor Wembanyama sat out of the Spurs win over the Clippers due to injury management of his right ankle. You okay with that?
Yeah, I think he's getting ready for this run. He can't miss 3 more games and be eligible for the postseason stuff, but I think he'll be fine. Cam Boozer won the AP Player of the Year. Fred Hoiberg won Coach of the Year. Those make sense to you?
Yeah, they're both worthy. They were fine. Nebraska was more than fine. LeBron told Bob Does Sports that the NBA should ditch Memphis for Nashville, adding that if the Grizzlies had drafted him, he might have pulled an Eli. Your thoughts?
That seems particularly mean and beneath LeBron to go after Memphis like that. That just sounds out of character for him to me. A Virginia judge ruled against UVA quarterback Chandler Morris playing a 7th college season. 7th. Make sense?
Good. I mean, how long are you supposed to stay in college? Come on. Come on. Last one, 19-year-old Pirates rookie Connor Griffin had an RBI double in his first major league at bat. Your reaction?
My God, the Pirates and the Brewers in our division keep stockpiling talent. We can't lose Cade Horton, please. Hope this is temporary.
We're out of time. We will try and do better the next time, and I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, knuckleheads. And now, coverage begins of tonight's Women's Final Four.
You're going to the final game, right? You're going to the final game.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the NCAA Women's Final Four studio, presented by Capital One.
We started with 68 teams, and now only the Final Four remain. When play started, all eyes were on Phoenix, Arizona, and the stage is now set for 4 programs who are no stranger to being here. The first matchup on deck features a team who has been here more than anyone else, the defending champions, UConn, who have won 54 straight games dating back to last season, and the team they beat to win championship number 12, South Carolina, entering their 6th straight Final Four, breaking a tie for the 2nd longest streak all time. Tip-off of the Final Four in just about an hour.
When the players enter and the light is cast, the focus is set to extreme. In the frenetic cameras and the anxious crowd, the clicks are calls to action. Magic. They weave, they work, and play. Moments. Feeling the glare of attention and the magnitude of the stakes. Memories weave. This is it. There is no second take. There are legacies to begin.
This is a business trip. We have a job to do, and that's to win a national championship.
All of the ingredients are inside that Texas locker room.
To pursue.
It's become the norm. South Carolina back to the Final Four.
To continue.
We've had everyone step up in different moments throughout the season. Now it's time for all that to come together.
Moments will enter the timeless space where memory and myth intertwine. So much pride, So much passion, perceived from every angle, imprinted on every mind as they perform the role of a lifetime.
These magic moments.
Now they have the chance to rise and be immortalized.
I don't know about you, but I've got chills. I mentioned we started with 68 teams. There are now only 4 remaining, and these 4 are no stranger to being here. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, and Texas getting ready for tip-off in just about an hour as we welcome you in. Me and my friends, fantastic friends, Janelle Gumike, Andrea Carter, and Christine Williamson here. How you feeling, ladies?
Yeah, you mentioned chills. I got chills. It's not cold in here. The teas gave me chills.
I've been having goosebumps all day long. It's going to be...
And they won't stop
It's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait for these games. They're going to be so stinking good. And if things feel a little familiar, it's because these 4 teams were in Tampa just last year. They're now the last 4 standing, and yet again making this the second time in NCAA tournament history that the same 4 teams are in the Final Four for consecutive years. It's been 30 years since that happened. So ladies, what got each of these teams back to the stage? Shanae, you start with South Carolina.
Yeah, we've seen big game from the Gamecocks. Historically, South Carolina has been known for their post players, but they stand here in the Final Four behind elevated performance from their guards. We're talking about Raven Johnson, Tanaya Latson, Tessa and company. Shot 70% from 3 in their regional. True balanced attack for the Gamecocks.
Well, the UConn Huskies got here on the shoulders of their Naismith Player of the Year, Sarah Strong. They got her the ball when they needed to, and she elevated her game in Fort Worth, Texas. Averaged 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3.5 blocks in 2 games to help UConn get back to its 25th Final Four. Sarah Strong is climbing the UConn record books. She's a legend already.
So bigs matter the most, right, Dre? Especially when it comes to UCLA. Lauren Becks has been a beast, averaging 23 in the tournament. But the Bruins supporting cast has truly stepped up. Ange Dugulich is 15 versus Duke. Kiki Rice is 21 versus Minnesota. The offensive depth has been the difference for the Bruins.
Yeah, bigs matter a lot. Guards matter a lot, too. But you know what matters the most? Defense. Texas's defense. They're better offensively than we have ever seen before. Madison Booker in the mid-range, yes, that's great, but they got here with their tough Texas defense. Texas has held every opponent in the tournament under 60 points. That's the Texas standard. That's why they're here.
Ladies, one thing that stands out to me about these 4 teams, we mentioned that they were in the Final Four last season, but also they're very familiar with one another, especially when you think about South Carolina and UConn. Shanae, what stands out to you in these matchups?
Amongst the 4 1 seeds who are here today, on paper, it might be the same name, also on their jersey, but they are truly different teams. If you think about UConn, they got back to the mountaintop for the first time in 8 years. Before they had won 4 straight, leading into 2016, and now they got back to the mountaintop. But the pain of losing for Texas, the pain of losing for South Carolina, the pain of losing for UCLA has created an improved version of these 3 other squads that want to win a national championship on their own. If you think about UCLA, they want to prove that they are tough. If you think about Texas, they want to prove that it's not just defense, they have an improved offense. If you think about South Carolina, they want to prove that they have positional balance. The gap has closed from last year to this year, and that's why these 2 games are going to be sensational.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's just incredible, right? Like, we have the same programs, but it's hard to even say we have the same teams because the teams are so different from last season compared to this season. I just love that we get a rematch of the national championship tonight. Like, all of the weight that is put on this game for these players, it's just so fun talking to all of them, like talking to Tessa Johnson, talking to Raven Johnson about how that loss fueled them this year, but even how losses from this season, not even so much losing to UConn last season in the national championship. South Carolina said, we're fueled by losing to Texas in the SEC championship. They want to get back to that mountaintop. What I also love is that we're going to have a new contender in the national championship game, no matter what. No matter what happens tonight, Texas or UCLA will be fighting for that national championship, and they didn't get to do so last year.
One thing that stands out to me about all the teams that we talked to on Wednesday is the fact that they mentioned that they're different teams than last year, but also different teams in the beginning of the season. When you think about the growth of these 2 teams specifically, what have you seen?
I was really impressed not only by the ladies on the floor for South Carolina, as you see here, and that woman right there, that's a superstar, Joyce Edwards. It's also Dawn Staley, her coaching job. The fact that she said, hey, I'm not deterred by, undeterred by wins. It's actually the losses where I keep my cool, and that's where we learn the most. I always go back to losing my final conference championship game versus USC. That helped us get back to the Final Four. So the pain of losing can actually bring out the best version of these squads, especially in this moment.
On UConn's side, when we talked to Gino on Wednesday, he mentioned that this team reminded him of that 1991 team that nobody saw them coming. By the way, they played UVA and Don Staley. But for UConn, it's won all 38 teams this season. Only one was decided by single digits and enters the Final Four undefeated for the ninth time in program history.
That's ridiculous.
But the first since 2018. All other teams have combined to do that only 7 times. 6 of the first 8, UConn walked away with the title. And Holly Rowe caught up with the head coach, Gino Auriemma.
Coach Auriemma, Sarah Strong sweeping the National Player of the Year awards. In years past, when you've had a player like that, Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart, you've won national championships. What does she have to be for you tonight to take that step?
Well, it's obviously it's a lot because so much is expected of her, but I don't know that this is Center versus Alcaraz. This is UConn versus South Carolina. So I think Sarah's going to do what she always does, and I think the rest of the team, if they play up to their ability, then I think we're going to be in great shape.
You've said since the beginning of this tournament that you are the sum of your parts, that this is not one of the great UConn teams, but the record is perfect. The stats are great. Who of the sum has to be very special tonight?
Well, when you think about it, in years that we've been here before, there are multiple pieces, and certainly AZ and Sarah get the bulk of the attention, and now Blanca. But, it's going to end up being kids like KK, Ashlyn Shade, Jenna, Sarah Williams, Allie, Isabel. Someone from that group or a couple people from that group. Remember we played South Carolina in the national championship game a couple years ago? And the kid that's a good player had like 27. Crazy. LSU wins the national championship. Kim comes off the bench and gets 20-something. That's usually what happens in this event. Somebody comes forward for the winning team.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ali.
I want to go back to the first player that they were talking about. That was Sarah Strong in this matchup. And I think one of the most fun things to learn during the tournament is she's really just coming into her own in her second season. Janae, how have you seen that play out?
The Elite 8 was a breakout game for Sarah Strong versus Notre Dame particularly. Not for what happened on the floor. She had 21 points. She had 7 rebounds. That's like a casual night for her. But for the intangibles for Sarah Strong, how she controlled the huddle, how she challenged her teammates. And yes, she yelled at them and then apologized after in very Sarah Strong fashion, which was hilarious. And KK Arnold was even saying, yell at me more because our team needs that. She honestly took over. This was a game where AZ Fudd struggled to shoot the ball. This was a game where you saw her bring out her flex power when it comes to swatting shots. This was a game where you saw that they did not give her enough touches in the first half. And what did she say? One of my favorite phrases, I can do battle by myself. Yeah. It's the next step, the breakout moment of leadership. Yeah. And that's what makes UConn players great historically. It's rising to the moment, rising to the occasion. We saw her put up 20 and 7. I think she saw an eye on the camera, which is why she smirked and turned the other way. But it's the intangibles of leadership that you just cannot buy.
Yeah, it's incredible because, Sarah Strong, she's a little shy, but she's starting to break through that shyness, especially with her teammates. You mentioned the Notre Dame game. UConn was up 1 against North Carolina. Sarah Strong scored 8 straight points in that game. Do not be surprised if Gino Auriemma cuts that continuity offense off and starts calling quick hitters for Sarah Strong, but my eyes are on AZ Fudd. This is an excellent shooter, one of the best we have seen in UConn's already incredible history. At practice yesterday, watching UConn, AZ missed a 3 on the right wing. The rebound bounced right back to her, and she shot another 3 at the top of the key, and she made it, she swished it. That's the mentality that AZ Fudd must have in this game. Missed 3s don't matter. Missing shots in Fort Worth doesn't matter. None of that matters now, and the thing about AZ is she's had success against South Carolina. Her best numbers against any opponent were South Carolina games last year. She had 28 points, 24 points. Will she have that mentality against this new, tough defense of South Carolina?
Yeah, the reigning most outstanding player from last year's Final Four and national championship. And lastly, no matter if the shot goes down, you still gonna have to guard that woman.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna have to do for South Carolina.
And I think it's very important what Gina was talking to us about on Wednesday as well, is the fact that she has so much pressure on her. She went into the season with all eyes on her. People knew that she would likely be the best player on the best team, and she's having to take on that burden. On the other side, Raven Johnson is in her final season as well. When you think about what she's done, Chanae.
Yeah, this stage has helped players develop and grow physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's Good Friday, y'all. Happy early Easter to all who celebrate. But there's a perfect example of the growth on this stage between Raven Johnson and Joyce Edwards. And Biggie Smalls, I always take the bigs. Joyce Edwards had 9 offensive rebounds in the Elite 8. She had 12 total. All eyes are on the rim. She gets it, and this is the footwork that is so elite. She is one of the most athletic and mobile players, regardless of position. Do you see that? That's like a Jordan fillet right there with the left. So difficult. I could never do that in my career. And more importantly, she had 24 points. And I want you guys to see the form right here. She is a runner. She is a track star. Do you see that? That's Olympic level commitment to running. And this is what makes South Carolina great. They don't care who gets the credit. They keep the ball high, and she finishes on both ends of the floor. She's the head of the snake for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, but the head of the snake as well. Right next to Joyce Edwards is Raven Johnson, who is playing so confident. Look how close she comes to this off-ball screen. Reagan Beers is too far back, but before Peyton Verhulst can even close the gap, watch Raven Johnson's feet. Zero hesitation. Her 2 feet hit the floor. She goes right into her jump shot. 50% from the field this season. That's a career high for Raven Johnson. But what she's always been great at is finding her teammates. Look, defenders playing off. Raven Johnson could settle for a 3 here, but there's time left on the shot clock. Get a better shot. Engage the defense. Dump off to Joyce Edwards. Raven Johnson has been playing phenomenal basketball. Her ability to decide when she should call her own number and when she should facilitate to her teammates. She had 18 points on 8 of 11 against Oklahoma. That was in Sacramento. Against TCU, quieter day scoring. She only had 10 points, but she also had 6 assists. So Raven's going to get done what the team needs from her, whatever that calls for.
I like that you use the word phenomenal, because her head coach, Don Staley, talked about the work that she put in this offseason. Holly Rowe will have much more on that later in our show. So they'll get ready to take on a team in UConn that they played in the national title game last season. And it is absolutely no surprise that Connecticut has produced some of the most prolific players we've seen step on the basketball court. We're going to take a look at the generational talents that have come through that program in just a little bit. And it is 2 GOATs going head-to-head in our first Final Four matchup. Don Staley is going to catch up with Holly Rowe ahead of Raven Johnson's last Final Four.
It is Johnson & Johnson.
Oh, yeah, me and Tessa.
She really cares about the other person. She really values relationships.
It's just a bond between us. It's a special connection, and I think that translates on the court.
Raven back to Tessa. And how about that?
Just to see their connection and how they are together. I mean, they love each other, and they are great dancers.
Tessa and Raven, they feed off of each other, and it's always right on time.
Raven Johnson with some big money buckets.
I mean, I'm going to miss Raven, but we have 2 more games together.
NCAA Women's Final Four Studio is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Okay, let's huddle up. When faced with a cancer diagnosis, who helps you rebound financially? Aflac. That's right. And who's been in the cancer insurance game since 1957? Aflac. And who can help cover treatment from diagnosis to recovery? Aflac. Now show me what you're made of. Aflac. To learn more, visit aflac.com/cancer. Whoa, whoa. Glad you're on my team. Aflac.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Are my 5 morning alarms a metaphor for everything else I'm putting on, like my laundry or my 768 unread texts?
I'm just your dermatologist. You don't want all of this showing up on your face. Try Hydro Boost.
Neutrogena, weightless hydration that goes deep.
The Whopper has never tasted better. Over a 1/4 pound of flame-grilled beef, crisp produce, the perfectly toasted bun, every detail stacked just right. Whether it's been weeks or years, try the Whopper again, just $3.99 on Wednesdays.
The Nissan Rogue takes hit after hit. Punished under immense pressure. And exposed to excessive wear. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. We put it through the worst, so you get its best.
Pickleball Slam 4 is here. Andre Agassi, Eugenie Bouchard, James Blake, and Anna Lee Waters.
Anna Lee who?
Pickleball Slam 4, April 15th on ESPN and the ESPN app.
They were the blueprint for football greatness. Now it's time for the next generation to show the world what they're made of.
We're the first pick in the NFL Draft.
The NFL Draft, April 23rd through 25th.
Nothing beats March. Or 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card.
Someone say 3?
Caitlin, she lives for the 3s.
From way down the counter.
Wow. Oh, no cheese?
3 scoops? She scores.
Is that pistachio? Uh-oh, she's here. Oh!
Splash.
Oh, y'all see it? Oh! That's it.
Off the glass.
My face is not a backboard.
It's now time for Raining Threes, brought to you by Capital One.
Davidson connects again. Watch out, Turkov is red hot.
Kamora Johnson.
Dagger from the top of the key.
Fourth 3 in the game for Mara Braun.
But connect, but again.
Around and down for the Blue Devils. So many great moments throughout the tournament so far, and much more coming with 3 games remaining. And you know who knows a little something about making threes? Dawn Staley, who made 11 in her NCAA tournament playing career. She caught up with our Holly Rowe.
Coach Staley, I read an article that Raven Johnson said the score to the last year's game against UConn's been up in the weight room since the offseason. How do you put behind you what happened last year, and this is a new group and a new focus?
Oh, I mean, I didn't even know that. I mean, I go in the weight room all the time. I mean, it is a different team. I think the fact that we didn't play UConn in the regular season, I kind of like the fact that this is our first time playing and we don't have any earlier footage at each other. You know, we don't have a previous game, and we're just playing based off our resume, and that ain't a bad thing when you're playing in the semifinals of Final Four.
The resume is so strong as well. Raven Johnson has just taken a new step. There's something that you can feel that's different about her. What is it that you feel, and what does she have to be for you tonight?
Well, I think what I feel is what I felt for the past 5 years. What's happening now is she's sharing it. She's actually voicing the things that are in her heart. Before, she just was, reserved and allow everybody else to do it. Now you see it out front because she really wants it so bad. Raven, when I recruited her, she told me, and she committed, she said, we're going to win national championships. And it's plural. I mean, we've gotten 2 under her belt, but I would love to see her go out on top because there's not anybody more deserving, and it would be such a success story to tell all the people that play the game for the right reasons, that haven't gotten their fair shake, and have given a shorthand. Raven fought through all of that, and still, above all of that, she's still a winner.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, Holly.
These Final Four teams here have combined for 143 wins this season, the most entering a Final Four in NCAA tournament history, and each have cruised so far in the dance. It's the first time that all 4 teams enter the Final Four with a point differential of 100 or more in the tournament. Today we talked about it pretty much all show. These coaches are no stranger to being here. Gino Auriemma has been here 23 5 times. What about these coaches allows them to come back year after year?
Each head coach here in the Final Four has a different style, a different flavor, and for Gino Auriemma, he is a master of the details. I honestly had secondhand stress watching them practice because they're not allowed to make mistakes, and that's why they lead the nation in assist to turnover percentage. And most importantly, I love this statement by Gino: shrink the floor on defense, but also expand the floor on offense. His coaching style is simple, yet so profound. And then we just heard from Dawn Staley, who has her superpower being credibility and connection with her players. Her operative word is discipline. Her team is competitive, but controlled, and that's why they're second in D1 in points in the paint. They just take the right shot at the right time. And I want to expand the field because we're going to have a great nightcap between UCLA and Texas. Vic Schaefer, he has this relentless mindset that rubs off on his team. He talks about bringing the wood, which is a bat, a prop, and that really rubs off in their toughness on defense. They have the best adjusted defense, a team that forces over 20 turnovers a game. And last but not least, Corey is a master strategist. She likes to play to her advantages, and I do believe that it's going to be fantastic because this is the best adjusted offense in UCLA. And most importantly, we heard her. She's trying to just poke the bear a little bit. She's trying to poke the bear as a Bruins.
I just love how these coaches have so much buy-in. You know, like we had meetings with the coaches and the players earlier this week, and you could just hear from everyone how the individual players understood their role and what their role meant to the team's success. To me, when I watch all these players and when I listen to them, they all feel valuable. And it's hard this day and age to make every single player, even players coming off the bench, feel like they matter, right? Kids need to know that they matter. And when I think about these coaches and their ability to get buy-in, I think that's really special on the offensive end, on the defensive end, but just as a whole, to me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think, you know, there's the phrase, be a star in your role. We heard multiple teams say that. There's no better example of this than Tanaya Latson. She is someone who last year led the nation in scoring at Florida State, over 20 points per game. She sacrificed to get here to show her best version of basketball. She has a career-high shooting percentage because she has bought into the role to win.
Yeah, and when you think about players like KK Arnold and Ashlyn Shade, who started as freshmen because of injuries, and then they didn't start, and now they're back in the starting lineup, right? Because you just buy into what the team needs. My eyes specifically when it comes to coaches are on Vic Schaefer and Corey Close. Texas and UCLA, because of how shell-shocked their teams looked last season, now they get to face each other. They're not facing one of these Goliath coaches in Dawn Staley and Gino Auriemma, so we will get to see in the later matchup which coach has adjusted to the chaos of this moment and which coach has their team ready.
Face each other again, because we saw the first match a little bit earlier in the season. We'll talk about that a little later. Time now for the Affleck trivia question, putting you guys on the spot right now. When was the last Final Four that did not include UConn or South Carolina in the field?
UConn or South Carolina?
Neither of them. When was that? We had to have been babies or something. Not quite.
2007? Was it really? Was it really?
Let's answer the Affleck trivia question. It was 2007. How do you know that?
Well, I was just thinking about like the run that UConn had. They went there. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. They went there all of Stewie's years, so that was 2009. I feel like Candace and them played. That was 2008.
Okay, wait.
I was just
wait. Do you know the teams that were in the Final Four
in 2007?
Yes.
Tennessee. Was it Tennessee?
She would know that. Yeah,
Tennessee, Stanford.
Nope.
Ah.
Dang, we're still taking L's.
No, I gotta win. Don't do
It
that.
was Tennessee, North Carolina, LSU, and Rutgers that made it.
Oh, shoot. I wasn't going to guess that
Great
one.
job, Dre. All right, Sarah Strong knows nothing but winning, so it's no surprise that this UConn team is stronger with her on the court. We're going to take a look at just how special the AP Player of the Year is for this UConn team. That's next.
Watching NCAA Women's Final Four Studio, presented by Capital One.
The Whopper has never tasted better. Over a quarter pound of flame-grilled beef, crisp produce, a perfectly toasted bun, every detail stacked just right. Whether it's been weeks or years, try the Whopper again, just $3.99 on Wednesdays.
Bringing you College Game Day takes an all-star team. So when it's their time to shine, we make sure they have what they need to succeed. We champion the talent on our team, same way you champion yours. Principal, proud sponsor of College Game Day.
Ollie asks, do you have wellness goals this year?
Hello?
Girl, put your phone down. I got you. Start small with a daily multi.
What does it do?
Our multi's got you, from immune system support to heart health to bone health.
That's so easy.
So easy. Just 2 gummies a day.
Now that's going in the chat.
how we're made determines how far we go. So for those who are strong, those who are powerful, those who aren't afraid to push their limits, the world of greater awaits. Greater journeys, greater experiences, greater memories. The first ever Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid is ready.
The NHL on ESPN presents a hat trick of games this weekend.
Brister scores!
My goodness, is that filthy.
A huge NHL hockey Saturday.
Watch the NHL on ABC, ESPN, Disney Plus, and the ESPN app.
Class, today we're talking women's hoops. Open your textbooks. Becky, what's wrong?
I'm the #1 hoops fan, but no one else believes me.
Time for you to get out there and prove it. Join thousands of screaming fans for an in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Let them know who's in the building.
Thanks, Professor. Oh, baby, drinks on me.
And the Capital One Cup trophy to the best NCAA Division I men's and women's athletic programs.
Does Sarah belong in a conversation with all the greats in UConn?
Yeah, boy, she got it.
Sarah is a one-of-a-kind player. She is one of the smartest, most skilled, most unselfish players.
Unbelievable step line by Sarah Strong. She's special.
The skill that she has for basketball is something that I haven't seen in a while. One of the things that she does is unlike anybody.
I'm calling it now. I think she has the potential to be the GOAT in the women's game.
To constantly have her name in the conversation with greats and legends, it's only fitting.
Up to this point in her career, no one has done more at the University of Connecticut. No one. Yeah, she's in that conversation.
And she's going to keep climbing another list. She has 192 career points in the NCAA tournament, fourth most by a UConn player through their first 2 tourneys, and 26 shy of passing Maya Moore for the most. In her 2 Final Four games last year, she averaged 23 points on 68% shooting. You heard the word GOAT used in that tease there. If you don't think Sarah Strong is one of the best players in college basketball, then you tripping. That's one of her favorite words. But what makes her so special, Andrea?
Well, she's already writing her name down in the record books when it comes to UConn Huskies in their first 2 seasons. And think about how many legends have played for the University of Connecticut. They produce legend after legend, and Sarah Strong is already on that list through 2 seasons. Sarah Strong is first in steals per game. But let me remind you all of Nikisha Sales and how much of a dog she was at Connecticut on the defensive end. She was Big East Rookie of the Year during her time, had a great WNBA career. Sarah Strong's got hands like Nikisha Sales. 2-way players getting it done on the defensive end. Sarah Strong already first in steals through 2 seasons.
Let's talk about the points, though. Through 2 seasons, Sarah Strong is second in that category in UConn history. And similar to Maya Moore, she has a beautiful floor spacing ability, and this is where it gets scary. Both Maya and Sarah average 19 points per game as a sophomore. They both shoot 40% from 3, so they light it up in a generational fashion.
Or who else to be on the list with? Oh, just Diana Taurasi. Diana Taurasi, first in assists through 2 seasons at Connecticut. Look at the dime, on time and on target. Sarah Strong is second as a big. It's even more impressive. She can get the ball to her teammates where they need it to score.
Drea, the late great Pat Summitt said, offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounding wins championships. She's already with the best of the best when it comes to UConn with rebounding. I don't know why we had to pick Stanford, but Tina is a legendary generational rebounder. She bosses out She is truly professional. You think about Sarah, how she's committed to the details, whether it is points, scoring, rebounding, steals. She plays on both ends of the floor. And y'all, I have played against Tina. I have played against Maya. I played against Stewie. I played against Gabby and Fee. She is the perfect combination of all of those players, and I never thought I'd witness it. In the WNBA Finals, we talked about how we're watching greatness in real time with Asia Wilson and all the accolades that she had. This woman has swept as a sophomore, major, all of them, all of the awards. That is Sarah Strong. So when we watch these games, understand a star has not only been born, has taken off and is lighting everybody up.
Yeah, I'm just really glad Tennessee wasn't on any of those highlights, okay? Thank you to whoever created. Actually, Joy, great tape. Thank you for not including Tennessee. Going back to Sarah Strong, I'm glad you talked about her game against Notre Dame earlier in the show, because if you go watch her buckets in that game, they're all different. She can score in so many ways. She had a post-up because Cass Prosper wasn't as strong. Then she had someone else on her. She pulls up for a mid-range jump shot. Then she knocks down a three. She gets a layup in transition. But even in addition to that, it's not just the points. Sarah Strong had 5 steals in both of the games. 5 steals against Notre Dame, 5 steals against North Carolina. She is a true two-way player as a big with guard skills.
I love that you mentioned steals, because she was going up against Hannah Hidalgo, who set the D1 record for most steals through the tournament and overall in one season. But Sarah Strong, the adjustment was, Gino said, oh, our guards might be having a tough night. Let's have Sarah Strong break off the ball. And then she created her own shot. She's the ultimate cheat code.
The other thing that's been very interesting to learn about Sarah Strong is she's really starting to find her voice in her sophomore season, which has been very fun. Her teammates love it as well. She's a little funny, too.
She needs to.
She's a little funny.
Tell everybody else what
exactly.
to do.
She is turning very much into a leader. Speaking of voices, here's the rest of our friends that are going to be on the call tonight.
All right, Christine, thank you very much. Getting ready for action between UConn and South Carolina. We know this rivalry. It is heated, and we are talking about two of the most prolific programs in all of college basketball. When these two teams met in 2022, it was the Gamecocks who captured the national championship. Last year, Connecticut got some revenge. Rebecca, these are two incredible defensive teams, but this year they also bring historically good offenses.
They have players who have a lot of versatility on the offensive end of the floor, multiple players who can really fill it up. You see how proficient they are, not only scoring the basketball, with the efficiency that they play as well. UConn takes a higher volume of three-point shots, but South Carolina also shoots very well from deep. Expect a high-scoring, fun game.
All right, time to check in with another one of our outstanding teammates. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, both of these teams are driven this season by seniors who have been through a lot. I want to start with UConn's AZ Fudd. She has really been through a very challenging time and never given up. If you look back to her high school season where she was the #1 recruit in the country, a devastating knee injury in 2019 almost derailed her career before she ever got to UConn. I asked her, do you mind if we show these pictures? He said, no, I love it. I love my scars. My scars are what have made me who I am. She has fought back from that. #1 pick, gets to UConn and has another knee injury, 700 days in between NCAA tournament games. But AZ has stayed relentless and resilient, and now here she is, the most outstanding player from last year's championship, on a career-high season this year with threes and field goal percentage. She has an opportunity to go out with a really strong streak. The other senior that I want to showcase is Raven Johnson. A similar story, an ACL tear derailed her freshman year. You know about the infamous wave off from Caitlin Clark, but she got in the gym, and where she got in the gym is pretty interesting. Her high school buddy is one of the best players in the world, Anthony Edwards. So her trainer, Justin Rollins, and Anthony Edwards in the gym working together, and that work has paid off. Don Staley told us the game will love you back if you put in the work, and Raven Johnson career high in points and assists this year. The work has paid off for both of these seniors. Now let's check in with Jess Sims.
Thank you so much, Holly. My name is Jess Sims, and you are looking at right here the first ever courtside at the Women's Final Four. Y'all, it's the new alt broadcast that we got for you this year. And I got some of my girls with me. We got Olympic rugby player Alona Mara. We got the stud buds who are, by the way, streaming. Natisha Heidemann, Courtney Williams. Y'all, vibe check. How are we feeling right now?
Man, we courtside. We off it. We feeling good. Man, we feeling good.
Ready to watch some ball. Just ball, ball out.
Just all ball.
We're all ball here.
Yeah.
We're all ball here. Do we have any early predictions, or are we just here for like a good game?
I'm here for a good game. Man, I want them for to compete. I want to see some good compete.
Okay, and what can we expect from y'all? Because y'all being so shy and so tame right now. You were just turning up 2 seconds ago, so what can we expect?
Oh, no, we finna do it up.
Yeah,
we finna do it up for sure.
All of us are.
All of us are.
Hey.
The stud buds and the
Fem buds.
We're still workshopping. We're gonna workshop it.
Alona, this is your first time at the Final Four, and you are courtside.
I know, what a jump. I'm really excited. I feel on top of the world right here. What an experience. I know some basketball, but I'm excited to learn even more.
I'm so excited for you. And y'all have been here before plenty of times, but not in these seats. What does this mean to you?
Up front, center. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's only right, man. It's only right.
Well, you see four of us right here. We're right here in the corner, like literally courtside. We got a fifth member of the team, Katie Feeney. She's going to bring you all the environment, some interviews. I heard some food, which we're really, really excited about. But it's going to be unscripted, and it's going to be so much fun. So we will see you here. And Christine, we can't wait to see y'all. We're seeing you over here. Say hi to all the ladies over there.
Hello, ladies. You can catch Jess, Alona, and the Stud Buds on ESPN2 for courtside at the Women's Final Four, presented by AT&T for both games today. I feel like it's going to get a little bit unhinged, which we obviously get.
In the best way.
In the best way, of course, obviously. So we've mentioned the stars, ladies, of this matchup, but I want to talk a little bit about X factors when you look at both of these teams. What are you looking at tonight?
Yeah, we are in the day and age of the transfer portal, which can be extremely challenging, but can also be extremely rewarding. Let's start with UConn's Kaylee Heckel from USC, traveled cross-country to Stores. Her goal is to take the pressure off of AZ, and Sarah Williams from Wisconsin, learning the demands of winning. She's going to have a defensive assignment huge for South Carolina Bigs. And last but not least, Tanaya Latson, Sweet 16, 28 points and perfect 4 for 4 from 3. The chemistry that she has had instantly with her backcourt mate Raven Johnson has been impressive.
Yeah, the transfers are huge, but how about these talented freshmen? Blanca Quinones for UConn has been phenomenal, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds on 62% from the field and 47% from 3 so far in the tournament. But South Carolina's got a couple great ones as well. Alicia Turneby, 6'7", you saw that block shot, and Agat McKeer averaged 7 points on the season. She's averaging 15 points so far in the tournament. Watching, it was Sarah Strong last year, the freshman that we talked about, handling this stage like it's nothing, like they've been here before. I'm excited to see which freshmen continue that excellent play.
Mini vibe check. If there's one player that could be an X factor that potentially could be a player of the year, who is it in our minds?
Potentially be a player, oh, like one day?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Or 3, 2, 1.
Blanca Quinones, yeah.
I got it on that one. I think Blanca Quinones is so interesting, too, because just talking to her on Wednesday, she's so poised, and she doesn't carry herself like she's a freshman. When she walked in the room, I was like, is she my age? I'm a little confused. She just carries herself so well. And listening to her talk about the fact that she knew nothing about the Final Four before she got to UConn, and now that she's on this stage, she finally understands how huge this is for UConn. So I expect her to be very huge in that UConn matchup tonight. All right, coming up right here, we get another rematch on the other side of the bracket. Texas and UCLA saw each other very early in the season, but both teams feel they're a lot different right now. We will break down our second Final Four matchup. That's next.
When he breaks that dance move, that's when you know he is proud.
Our strength coach, Ash, was like, hey, they were our good luck charm. You got to keep wearing them. Leather up or don't show up.
At my restaurant in Connecticut, it's called Aura. So who on the team has the most aura? That would be me.
Bringing you College Game Day takes an all-star team. So when it's their time to shine, we make sure they have what they need to succeed. It's why we cater to Kai and her impeccable taste. Invest in Todd and all the light he brings. And support Miles, who always brings the hype. We champion the talent on our team, same way you champion yours. Principal, proud sponsor of College Game Day.
Can our Nissan Pathfinder do this?
Not that you would, but you could. The new V6-powered Nissan Pathfinder. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality.
We used Angie and found a pro who was so invested in installing our picture window, he looked after it like it was his own.
So when we needed to pick someone to look after our own, we knew who to trust.
Sign here.
It's a will.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
When people are betting on you, every pass, every shot, it's not just the coach in your ear. It's the comment sections, the DMs, the losers who make threats and harass you. But this isn't their game to play, it's yours. The NCAA is drawing the line, educating about the dangers of sports betting, tracking online threats, and protecting the integrity of the game. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
When you have everything you need to unlock your best workout, like free fitness training and best-in-class equipment, you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Get stronger with free fitness training at Planet Fitness. Join for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
You ready?
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big news, America! Wegovy now comes in a pill.
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy, now in a pill, and visit Wegovy.com to learn how you can start saving. Wegovy, now in a pill.
When business slowed, Hank asked Copilot in Excel how to help bring back the $1 slice. Suddenly, Hank says, you gotta try this place kind of thing.
All right, thank you.
Hank makes the pizza, Copilot handles.
The 30th annual WNBA draft is Monday, April 13th on ESPN and the ESPN app. The Dallas Wings have the first pick, followed by the Lynx, Storm, Mystics, and the Sky. The expansion Toronto Timbo and Portland Fire have the 6th and 7th picks. Our coverage begins with WNBA Countdown at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific.
There's a standard that we try to live up to each and every day. If you're going to be here at Texas, it's not easy. You know, winning is really hard.
They topple top-ranked Texas.
South Carolina knocks off #1 Texas.
Our goals was to win as many championships as we can. No matter, who came in. Like, here at Texas, we win. We win. Like, there's nothing else to it. And I think that's why here the standard is so high. Like, we're going to play the best defense that we can. We're going to pressure you full court. We're going to try to make you miserable. Like, that's kind of what we've been, working on and harped on since the beginning of the season.
This is unbelievable. This night belongs to Madison Booker. The road to the desert is painted burnt orange.
I see them every day. I know the investment they put in their craft, and to see it all come to fruition. And then afterwards, to be able to stand in that confetti falling from the rafters, to see them enjoying it with their moms, their dads, their aunties. It's just really, it's one of the reasons why I do what I do.
Let's take a look at our Connection That Matters presented by AT&T, and it is the Texas Standard that has brought the program back to the Final Four for the second time under their head coach, Vic Schaefer. He also made it twice as the coach of Mississippi State, and he's the first coach in NCAA tournament history to lead two different programs to multiple Final Fours. So Vic Schaefer, no stranger to this stage, and this Texas team took on UCLA earlier in the season. Both teams talked about how they're very different from earlier in the season. How have you seen them grow?
Well, Texas in particular is different because Texas is healthy, right? So they've gotten healthier as the season has gone on. UCLA is different for a multitude of reasons, but I want to go back to the last time that these two teams played each other because UCLA grew in the matchup. From the first half, what we saw from UCLA to the second half was completely different. First half of the game, Texas dominated, causing turnovers, getting steals, getting out in transition. UCLA, they were sagging back. UCLA was passive in the first half.
Yeah, I asked Madison Booker, does she believe her team has the best defense in the nation? She said, unequivocal Unfortunately, yes.
And where UCLA grew in this matchup was their defense stepped up in the second half. UCLA decided they wanted to be a team that gives pressure defense, not a team that plays the percentages, not a team that sags off. They wanted to dictate defensively, and that's how UCLA got their offense flowing. UCLA cut a 23-point deficit to 4 in this game against Texas. Now, UCLA didn't have enough to get the win at the end of the day, but the way UCLA changed their mindset, they actually told us that that game against Texas is how they decided as a team they want to have a pressure defense. Because you can do a couple of things defensively, right? You can play the percentages, right? So if someone's a poor three-point shooter, you can go under, you can sag off, or you can be a team that pressures no matter what. And UCLA, after facing Texas, decided they want to be a team that pressures no matter what. That's how they got back in the game. That's how they need to start the game later tonight.
Yeah, since we're talking about Texas, we have this phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? No two teams have leaned more into their strengths than Texas and UCLA. And you might ask yourself why. It's because they have specialists on their roster. Let's start with Madison Booker, the All-American, who is a mid-range assassin and monster. She single-handedly has made more mid-range shots than 345 D1 teams by herself. Why? Because this is Texas's MO. 29% of their shots come from the mid-range. Now, on the flip side, Lauren Betts is the most doubled player in the tournament, and I think second over the course of the entire year. Yet, she is averaging still 23 points per game on 68% from the field. Now, you might ask why? It's because 31% of UCLA's shots actually come from three. She has more room to operate, which means you double, but she still beats you already in the paint. And so adding Tiana Neat, making sure that Kiki Rice is playing her best version of basketball. Gabrielle Hawk is having a career year. That three-point percentage going up allows Lauren Betts' paint percentage to continue to go through the roof.
We talk about the superstars, but when we met with these players and these coaches, there were two players that we haven't talked about yet that were probably talked about the most in those meetings, and it was the point guards. Rory Harmon for Texas and what she's been able to do, her confidence offensively and how she's able to run the team, and Charlie Sledger-Walker, a transfer. You talked about the impact of transfers. Her ability to run the team, her leadership, her decision-making, those two things from the point guards must be on display tonight. I'm interested to see who runs their team the best on this stage.
Rory Harmon is huge for this Texas team, and I like what she said about going into this matchup, into the Final Four. She said you have to play with emotions, but not emotionally. So I'm expecting her to be very calm, cool, collected, and try to get that Texas team into the championship. And speaking of emotions, revenge could be considered one, and you would think that South Carolina could be going into their Final Four matchup with that on their mind, wanting to avenge their championship loss from last season. We'll talk about what they need to do to get it done this time around.
You're watching NCAA Women's Final Four Studio, presented by Capital One.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
Entry into the dunk contest this year, the Aflac Duck.
With Coach Don Staley, the Ducks setting up from way downtown.
That's a big gap to cover for a small duck.
Y'all haven't seen the way Aflac helps close the gap left by health insurance? Watch this.
Aflac does pay people money for expenses not covered by health insurance.
That's nasty.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Turn the lights off, it's over.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
Get them just how you like.
Instacart lets you choose your bananas.
From green to extra ripe.
Use the app to control your bananas.
What a time to be alive.
I know you don't believe. What a time to be alive.
Sweet, get it.
I'm good. No, we go again.
ride of life.
BK, ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv.
So all out-of-market games, live or on demand, plus all your favorite sports on ESPN. We need to tell the people, Carl.
We're doing it right now.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. All out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. And scholarships have grown. The NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
NCAA Women's Final Four Studio is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
All right, just under 13 minutes before tip-off here. Janae, you've been in a Final Four. What are the emotions going into a game like this?
It's scary. It's the biggest stage of your life, but I always reminded myself on the other side of fear is freedom. These players are going to be amazingly free tonight and play phenomenally.
Fans, welcome to Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix, Arizona for the 2026 NCAA Women's Final Four. At this time, we ask those willing and able to please rise to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad with the performance of our national anthem. Tonight, presenting our nation's colors, the ASU Air Force ROTC Detachment 025 Color Guard. And now, to perform the national anthem, please welcome junior swimmer from Grand Canyon University, Ava Calmer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you,
We saw each of these teams here last year, and they're on this stage again with one goal in mind. Here they are ahead of the matchup.
UConn Stripes, they got a lot of them. They play efficient basketball. They play really aggressive. They are a tough team.
South Carolina is and has always been a really talented, really competitive team.
I think they're a much better team than the team we played last year. Nothing's going to be easy. I think it's a matchup all the fans have wanted.
Now that greatness has arrived.
From the three, is good.
Over to tonight, Latson, the choice upwards. Wow!
We talked about how these two programs are very familiar with being in the Final Four, but these two programs are also very familiar with winning championships. When it comes to both of these teams, Janae, what stands out to you about what they have to do today in order to go to the championship?
Do you know where I'm going to go? With the bigs.
The bigs.
I have to start with the bigs, particularly those of South Carolina, because when you think about this matchup, it's a matchup of force versus finesse. Sarah Strong is the queen of finesse. She can finesse you. She can knock down threes. She can shoot. She can dribble. She can pass. She can do it all. But South Carolina bigs, they are truly a force. Joyce Edwards averaging 20 points per game. She's playing her best version of basketball. I told you she had 9 offensive rebounds to get here to the Final Four. She has had 22 games of 20 points or more, and I think she's only 6 points away from becoming all-time scorer, highest scorer in one season for South Carolina. And Medina Okot, get to know her name. She is 6'7". She has had 22 double-doubles on the year. She is a beast on the boards. So I always love to say styles make fights. What style will win out? Yeah. UConn forcing the bigs to come out and guard Sarah, or the bigs actually be beasts on the boards, and it will put UConn in a conundrum trying to find matchups to slow them down.
Yeah, it'll be so interesting if UConn goes to that small lineup, which they did in the championship game last season. They moved Paige Beckers to the 4 spot. They played smaller and they dominated, but can they rebound if they go to that small lineup tonight? You know my eyes are on the guards. And coming into this matchup, if we go look at the regionals and the 2 games that South Carolina played in Sacramento and the 2 games that UConn played in Fort Worth, South Carolina's guards were way better. Like, not just better. South Carolina guards were way better in their regional. Now, I know they played different teams and the matchups were different. South Carolina guards were 13 of 15 from the three-point line in those 2 games in Fort Worth. UConn only took 13 threes. They were 2 of 13 in their game. So when you think about made threes, shot making, playmaking, South Carolina guards have more momentum than UConn's guards. But UConn has AZ Fudd.
That's it.
Yeah. And AZ Fudd, while she didn't shoot well in Fort Worth, AZ Fudd is 7 threes away from the single season record for made threes in UConn history. And UConn has had excellent three-point shooters in their history. So to me, which guards have more confidence? South Carolina has more momentum coming in, but my eyes are on the guard. KK and Ashlyn Shade, they have got to step up and knock down some shots. AZ's got to shake off Fort Worth. She's got to knock some down too.
Yeah, I think they only combined those guards that you mentioned, the supporting cast, for only 4 points. But when I look at this matchup, it's also the coaches. You have to think about how they're going to play their lineups, and overall, how are you going to balance the momentum that they go on? Because UConn says, and Gino said it, hey, we go for some runs. We know we can sustain it, but when they fight back, how do we respond? It's not just throwing the first punch, it's the counter punch, and we're going to see it on both ends.
I do want to mention, because you talked about that stat when it comes to AZ and her 3. She had 8 in Gamble Pavilion in her final game, so it's not out of the ordinary for her to get those buckets. Can we do a quick little vibe check?
Yes, sure, of course.
Because as we watch the South Carolina team get ready to run out, who do you think will have the biggest game tonight in this first matchup? All right, we talked about AZ, we talked about Sarah, we talked about Joyce, we talked about Raven. So who do you think will have the biggest game tonight?
Are we talking about individual players?
Individual players. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Sarah Strong.
Yeah. So the reason why I say Sarah, though, is because she can impact the game in so many ways.
Yes.
Right? Her scoring one-on-one, her passing, her playmaking, her hands on the defensive end. I think even if she gets off to a slow start scoring, she can impact the game in so many other ways.
Yeah, and the reason I say Sarah is because in the Elite Eight, she unleashed the beast. It's not what she was doing, it's how she was doing it. Leading her squad, owning the huddles, being a captain out there, yelling at her teammates and apologizing afterward and giving them high fives and them saying, we want more. They will get more from Sarah Strong, the player of the year.
Okay, final one. How many you bets are we getting tonight?
I hope we have a lot of made shots.
So I'm going to say 5.
All right, game 1 of the Final Four tips off in just moments. All of these teams have dreamed of this chance to see their name in lights by seizing this moment, making magic, and creating a memory that will last forever.
When the players enter and the light is cast, the focus is set to extreme. In the frenetic cameras and the anxious crowd, the clicks are calls to action. They weave, they work, and play. Moments. Feeling the glare of attention and the magnitude of the stakes. Memories weave. This is it. There is no second take. There are legacies to begin.
This is a business trip. We have a job to do, and that's to win a national championship.
All of the ingredients are inside that Texas locker room.
To pursue.
It's become the norm. South Carolina back to the Final Four.
To continue.
We've had everyone step up in different moments throughout the season. Now it's time for all that to come together.
Moments will enter the timeless space where memory and myth intertwine. So much pride, so much passion, perceived from every angle, imprinted on every mind as they perform the role of a lifetime.
These magic moments.
Now they have the chance to rise and be immortalized.
Who else has chills? Welcome to the Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona. UConn, South Carolina later on tonight. It's UCLA and Texas, the national championship game, Sunday afternoon on ABC as we welcome you courtside. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for the Final Four here on ESPN. What a matchup here with UConn and South Carolina meeting in the Final Four for the third time in the last 5 seasons. This is a South Carolina team that has a star sophomore in Joyce Edwards who's taken a huge leap this season.
Joyce Edwards has led South Carolina all season long, but she's taken it to another level here in the NCAA tournament, averaging 20 points, 10 boards over her last 4. She has terrific bounce when she gets the ball inside on the offensive end and bouncy on the defensive end as well. Exquisite footwork inside and range out to 15, 17 feet. She has led the way for South Carolina, hopes to continue to do so here today.
South Carolina's 6th consecutive Final Four, second longest streak all time. They've set a program record for points per game and an SEC record for point differential in the tournament entering the Final Four. Speaking of great sophomores, how about UConn Sarah Strong?
Sarah Strong has swept all the Player of the Year awards. What makes her special? It's her versatility and efficiency. She can score inside and out, can get to the bucket off the bounce, facilitate for her teammates, and she is special on the defensive end as well, averaging 3.5 steals per game.
This is a UConn team that is in its 25th Final Four. They have won 54 straight games in this season. They have beaten opponents by an average of 37.8 points per game. Time to check in with another Hall of Famer. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, thanks, Ryan. AZ Fudd is born to be in this moment. She's literally named after a famous basketball player, Jennifer AZ. And she has had basketball in her blood this entire time. The #1 recruit overall in 2021. She was on a big stage early in her career, but it was derailed by injury, playing in just 42 of the next 112 games for the UConn Huskies. Thought about quitting, didn't know if she would ever get back to this stage, but her resilience and relentless rehab got her back to being the most outstanding player of the year last year. This year, even better, a career high in points per game, 3-point field goal percentage. She is really ascending at the perfect time, and this is an important moment for AZ. Can she do it
first season, 25 Final Fours, 12 national titles, both D1 records in South Carolina, led by Dawn Staley, her 8th Final Four, a 3-time national champion. Time to meet Dawn's team. It's time for the Capital One Meet the Players.
Hello, it's me. Hello.
This is my team, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Hello.
Raven, Black Magic, Johnson. You see me.
It be me look like a snack, bon appetit, yeah.
Tessa Johnson. Who can guard Tessa? Tanaya Latson. If you're in trouble, call Agent Zero. Joyce Edwards. Power Puffs is in her 2 puffs. Medina Ocott. Big Mama. Donnie. Coach Staley. Gucci Louis Prada. She really is the Dunn daughter.
Hello, it's me. Hello, it's me. It's that, yeah.
Here we go, South Carolina and UConn, the Final Four. Tips next from Phoenix on ESPN.
Taxes was feeling overwhelmed. Now Taxes is coming in clutch with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes in person or on your phone. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
When you have everything you need to unlock your best workout, like free fitness training and best-in-class equipment, you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Get stronger with free fitness training at Planet Fitness. Join for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
You ready?
Planet Fitness. We're all stronger.
Focused and fearless. Your vision narrows. Did you see that moment?
From beyond the logo!
All of it right here. Lock in. The WNBA Draft on ESPN.
Rachel gets to quit. Do I make myself clear? Rachel gets to quit. Do I make myself clear?
Not just anyone can fight for everyone.
Where?
Marines are made for this.
Because there are good times. And there are bad times. Give more love than humanly possible when you feed a Hill's scientifically proven formula. Because you're only human, there's Hill's.
Underwear for folks who work their butts off.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. You are watching the Final Four presented by AT&T. About ready to tip here at Mortgage Matchup Center.
Already showing us why she's the National Player of the Year. Versatility, efficiency from the perimeter, from the mid-range, and of course can get to the rim.
Nothing beats March. Or 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card.
Someone say 3?
Caitlin, she lives for the 3s.
From way down the counter.
Oh, no cheese?
3 scoops? She scores.
Is that pistachio? Uh-oh, she's here. Oh!
Splash.
Oh. Y'all see it? Oh! That's it.
Off the glass.
My face is not a backboard.
No artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, and 75% less sugar. Gatorade lower sugar. Hydrates better than water.
And the blue moon.
Oh, that is a delicious looking orange slice.
You know, that's actually my son's slice. Go ahead, you can take a bite.
No!
Just kidding. That was a really good one.
The larger one is the dad.
Nothing outshines a blue moon.
A lot has happened for UConn since Gino Auriemma took the program to their first Final Four back in 1991. Michael Jordan hadn't even won his first NBA championship yet We know he ended up with 6 of those. Hey, we know that, young woman. And the other one's in the building, too. First WNBA game in June of 97. LeBron played his first game in October of 03. How about Sarah Strong? She was born in February of 06. The Warriors won 73 games in 2016. Caitlin Clark set the Division I scoring record in the spring of 24. And now UConn in an unprecedented 25th Final Four. Let's send things over to Holly Rowe.
Well, Gino Auriemma told me on his arrival tonight.
Here, 15 all after the first in Phoenix.
South Carolina is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. They get the second opportunity, and McKeer does what she does.
You know, before Tatum was Tatum, I actually scouted him at a Dick's just like this.
Isn't that Tatum by the Tatums?
Yep, still putting the work in.
Can we get some more Tatums in here? Never have enough Tatums.
You know what I see, Diana? I see the future and the present under the same roof. We got Sabrina down there just giving back to the community.
You seeing all this talent?
Yep.
You guys want to help?
We're good. What's next? Stefan Castle just being unfair to the next Stefan Castle? Unfair, Stefan. I live for that type of action. This is the best of the best. It's the pinnacle of sport. I love it here.
Smile so big that your eyes crinkle back in your face. Laugh so loud you can hear it from outer space. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna know you. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna. Really wanna talk to you. I really wanna.
Guys, no feet on the court. I'm sorry, I thought these were the extra legroom seats. No. I had more legroom on the flight here.
Can't wait to get back on that plane.
Dove Clinical Plus Care is for the girls that blow dry sweat, hot flash sweat, first toast sweat. We've got you with serum-infused, skin-softening, unbeatable sweat protection. Dove Clinical Plus Care is care that gets sweat.
One zip.
So they're all on your team?
Yeah, they're my financial plan.
Huh?
Who Thrive and helps me plan my finances for. Like my church, the children's hospital, and my son's college fund. And we're redoing the basement.
Plan your finances for the people, causes, and communities you love with Thrivent, where money means more.
Class, today we're talking women's hoops. Open your textbooks. Becky, what's wrong?
I'm the #1 hoops fan, but no one else believes me.
Time for you to get out there and prove it. Join thousands of screaming fans for an in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Let them know who's in the building.
Thanks, Professor.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? The Final Four is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. South Carolina and UConn tied at 15 after the first quarter of this Final Four matchup. Moments ago, Holly Rowe caught up with South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley.
Well, Coach, you told us earlier Agat McKeer would not be fazed by this big stage. What went through your mind when she just hit that big shot to end the quarter?
She's always ready. You know she's ready on the offensive end. If she's got an open shot, she's going to take it. I like her aggressiveness. She's got to keep doing that for as long as she's on the floor.
Your defense has stood out. Raven Johnson playing multiple positions. What stands out to you so far?
That's what Raven does. She's an elite defender. She's an elite winner. She's gonna make winning plays. So if we have to play her 1 through 5, Raven's up for the challenge.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
And now for our slam dunk matchup brought to you by Wendy's.
Raven Johnson is 5'9", and Dawn Staley has decided to put her on 6'2" Sarah Strong. And look at Raven. She is just connected to Sarah Strong, understands that she has to keep the ball out of her hands. And even when Sarah Strong has gotten position in the post or tried to get position in the post, watch here. Raven Johnson just battling, trying to get leverage, move her out of the way. She has stepped up to the challenge of defending.
13.
New plan. Google, what's the fastest way to the pier?
New Balance. We got now.
New Old Spice Cosmic Quest 24/7 freshness makes me want to be Mario. He has the confidence to fly through the galaxy wearing nothing but this. Thanks, Old Spice. Now I smell super.
Danny Daisy Design transforms any space. And Intuit QuickBooks pulls everything together in one place with AI agents working for her.
Income's up.
And trusted experts working with her.
Let's look at your forecast.
Great. Over there, guys.
Outdo it with Intuit QuickBooks.
Okay, let's huddle up. When faced with a cancer diagnosis, who helps you rebound financially? Aflac. That's right. And who's been in the cancer insurance game since 1957? Aflac. And who can help cover treatment from diagnosis to recovery? Aflac. Now show me what you're made of. Aflac. To learn more, visit aflac.com/cancer. Whoa. Glad you're on my team. Aflac.
It's Monday night. Idol is live and kicking it old school with 90s superstars.
Bring it on!
And your top 11 are revealed live.
The heat is on.
Well, for 3 decades, one man has been a constant at the heart of the action of the women's Final Four. Our mid-court handheld cameraman, Tim 2, has captured every championship for 30 years. Tim, your dedication, your eye for the iconic have defined.
When you see this back number, it's and finish right here. I mean, this is not easy. Good players have gone through, great players have done. But 1-2 punch, they will need more in the second half.
Going back to needing more. I mean, South Carolina is excellent on the offensive glass. UConn has forced 9 turnovers. Yeah. South Carolina's turned the ball over, but South Carolina's gotten it back because they have 10 offensive rebounds. And another point about effort, Agat McKeer has been phenomenal. Yeah. She is chasing AZ Fudd everywhere. I love that Coach Staley put Raven Johnson on Sarah Strong, but I don't know if she's going to be able to do that again because Raven has 2 fouls. So just interesting to see how they play it out.
Yeah, the foul trouble, but also the last thing that's a big is you want someone, a guard, guarding you. Yeah. But they settled in UConn, particularly Sarah Strong.
This is the 4th time that UConn and South Carolina have matched up in the NCAA tournament. I do want to mention that the team leading at half is the one that has won the previous 3 times. Sarah Strong, she has 8 for her team. They are up 2 at the half. We'll be right back after this.
John asked me if I wanted to be the head coach at Connecticut, and I said, yeah.
That's it, good.
So you promise not to screw it up?
UConn has won the national championship.
Dynasty fulfills its destiny.
Even dozen for Gino Auriemma and Connecticut.
And the rest is history.
This halftime report is presented by Dove Clinical Plus Care. 96-hour sweat protection plus skin care.
The Nissan Rogue takes hit after hit. Punished under immense pressure. And exposed to excessive wear. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. We put it through the worst, so you get its best.
Jimmy likes 2 things, refrigeration and people. When his boss can't get to the big meeting, he asks Jimmy to fill in. But Jimmy has his hands full. So he just asks Copilot in Microsoft Outlook to catch him up. Copilot digs through Jimmy's crowded inbox and files and tells him what he needs to know. Now Jimmy's up to speed, and his boss is taking notice. Jimmy's good with people. Copilot's good with details.
Flavors, no artificial sweeteners. and 75% less sugar. Gatorade lower sugar. Hydrates better than water.
People do anything to make their beer cold. Try viral hacks. Use outdoor fridges. Freezers too. Oops. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. Because people don't just like beer. People like cold beer.
You said the Whopper is the best burger in America. When made right. So with your feedback, we've perfected every bite. So that every Whopper is made your way and never smashed. Because there's a new king, and it's you.
Your chance to win a free trip with tickets to the FIFA World Cup and a $10,000 gift card from the Home Depot is only one app away. Download the Home Depot app to get started. No purchase necessary, ends 4/22.
For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. And scholarships have grown. The NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student athletes first.
Pampers Swaddlers keeps babies dry.
From CeraVe Gentle Hydrating Hair Care, free from common irritants and allergens. Feel hydrated for up to 72 hours.
Wow, so cozy.
The pain points before NetSuite were a lot of fragmented systems and thus a lot of manual labor. NetSuite helps us grow and succeed by really giving us a common language, common processes. And with NetSuite, our data's together. NetSuite helps me with the insights to see where can we grow faster. We have scaled dramatically with NetSuite and in part because of NetSuite.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. You are watching the Final Four presented by AT&T. What a tightly played opening half between UConn and South Carolina. The Huskies a 2-point lead as we get ready to start the third quarter here in Phoenix. A reminder, later on tonight, it'll be Texas and UCLA. And then Sunday, 3:30 Eastern, the national championship game on ABC as we welcome you back courtside. Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Really interesting first half. No team could gain separation. Sarah Strong doing what she can for UConn as we take a look at tonight's impact player brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy.
Sarah Strong, so important, and you know she's always going to draw attention from the defense, and here she's able to get a look, attacks the closeout, the tough finish inside as well. Defensively, she's going to create turnovers for her team. We saw a block shot as well, can step into threes, can get to the rim. And then for South Carolina, they have made a huge impact in the paint. 18 paint points, 10 offensive rebounds, getting themselves second opportunities for UConn defenders. Doesn't matter. The effort and length from South Carolina to get another opportunity. They've gotten inside on dribble penetration, on back downs, on direct entries into their post players as well. You see the difference for South Carolina. Efficiency in scoring when they're getting looks inside the paint, 9 for 20, and then outside of the paint, only 1 for 12, most of them on the left side of the floor.
And now for tonight's Need to Know, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Connecticut had cut it to 1. They cut it to 1 on 3 straight threes. AZ Bud with the last of them. Gino Auriemma chats with Holly when we come back.
Sorry, folks, no whales today.
The whale's canceled?
If these were Southwest whales, they would be right on schedule. Just saying.
The whale's canceled.
I heard.
Let's go!
Dove Clinical Plus Care is for the girls that blow dry sweat, hot flash sweat, first toast sweat. We've got you with serum-infused, skin-softening, unbeatable sweat protection. Dove Clinical Plus Care is care that...
Before the world knows their names, they're students.
Teammates, competitors. Across NCAA campuses, dreams of Team USA take shape. Nearly 2/3 of Team USA once wore their school's colors. More than half of U.S. Paralympians trained as college athletes. Together, they carried that spirit to the podium. Because Olympians aren't just made, they're made here.
Pampers Swaddlers keeps baby comfortably dry.
Because getting home late gets you that look. Give more love than humanly possible when you feed a Hill's scientifically proven formula. Because you're only human, there's Hill's.
Pro Plan. Fuel for life.
Chance or luck? It all links back to you. David Yurman, Madison.
Inspire new holiday traditions by bringing artisanal buns and rolls to your next holiday feast.
The DQ Blizzard Double Flip Deal is here. Buy one Blizzard treat and get a second for just 99 cents.
99 cents? That's bananas.
1, 2, 3, we got a DQ flavor, Savannah Bud. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Limited time. Get it in the DQ app.
South Carolina, 5-point lead as we get ready to start the fourth quarter of this Final Four matchup. Moments ago, Holly Rowe caught up with UConn head coach Gino Auriemma.
Well, Coach, a kind of wild turn of events. Sarah Strong's jersey is split right down the middle. I saw you speaking to the refs about it. What message did you try to convey?
Right. There were 6 fouls called that quarter, all of them against us. And they've been beating the shit out of our guys down there the entire game. And I'm not making excuses because we haven't been able to make a shot. But this is ridiculous. Their coach rants and raves on the sideline and calls the referee some names you don't want to hear. And now we get 6-0, and I got a kid with a ripped jersey, and they go, I didn't see it. Come on, man. This is for the national championship.
Oh, Gino Auriemma clearly upset at the disparity in fouls. Now, here is the physical play that Gino was upset about, that Sarah Strong endured on that final possession, as Strong hooked it up inaccurately, and then Sarah Strong actually rips the jersey herself. Now, we could not tell whether or not it was torn a little bit before she did that, but clearly she made the big tear. And now Sarah Strong is actually going to have to switch jerseys and wear number 55 for UConn here in this fourth quarter. Dee Kandner, our rules analyst, want to bring you in. There wasn't necessarily any singular play in that third we examined and saw fault with, but what's your reaction to the commentary there from Gino and seeing the difference in the fouls called in the third?
Well, all I can say is that play that you just showed was Sarah.
Earn double miles on our game tickets with the Capital One Venture Card.
Great! My bracket's busted.
I'm sorry, Sam Jackson. I am for real.
Buzzer beaters. Lost in overtime.
Didn't get it right. Neither did you try.
Thought I picked a pretty bracket, but you can't be Cinderella.
Guys, it's double overtime.
Overtime? Over overtime? Over overtime?
I'm sorry, Sam Jackson.
I am for real.
Here's another tip from the Shack Yard. How to bring the pressure.
Nice form.
Is that regulation?
It is in my yard.
Behind basketball stars like AZ Fudd are Geico's 24/7 claim support and a village of people who are always there.
Hey, Coach. And Pat. Kids I used to babysit.
Sup, AZ?
Hey, Dog Walker Trudy. Give me a spot.
You got it.
That's a lot of people in the gym.
Thanks, friends. Thanks, family. Thanks, 13,000 Geico claim specialists.
Anytime. It feels good to have a team behind you. It feels good to Geico.
All right, let's hit legs next.
The 3 for me, only at Chili's. Still can't be beat with the big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's.
No one goes to Hank's for his spreadsheets. He doesn't sell them. He does sell a darn good slice. When business slowed, Hank decided to bring back the $1 slice. He just asks Copilot in Excel to help make it work. Suddenly, Hank says, you gotta try this place kind of thing.
All right.
Hank makes the pizza.
Hey, how you doing?
Copilot handles the spreadsheets.
Enjoy.
Can our Nissan Pathfinder do this?
Not that you would, but you could. The new V6-powered Nissan Pathfinder. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality.
It's UConn. It's South Carolina. It's Gino. It's Dawn. It's the two programs that have dominated the landscape in recent history. And UConn, of course, extending far beyond that.
Thanks, Ryan. Welcome to the NCAA Women's Final Four studio presented by Capital One. Chanel Gumuke, Andrea Carter, and Christine Williamson here. He just mentioned the zest at the end of that game as South Carolina wins 62-48, a 14-point ball game. And Andrea, you mentioned earlier in the game that you felt a tension in the air, and we saw it kind of displayed at the end of that matchup. What did you guys see play out?
Yeah, what we saw at the end between the coaches is what was felt throughout the entire game in terms of the intensity. The players played so
this way.
That's how she expects to play, and I'll say this as we're here in the building of the Phoenix Mercury. The final WNBA game of the season, Kalia Copper and the Phoenix Mercury fell short. Kalia Copper put up a 30-piece.
Yeah.
She was fearless. She was dominant. Even though they lost, Kalia Copper is Agat McKeer's favorite player. It makes sense the way Agat McKeer plays because of the player that she watches. When you see somebody, you can be somebody. And just the way Agat McKeer was able to play, it all fell together today in this building.
Yeah, I love that because to win at this level, you need stars to show up, of course, but you also need that element of surprise. And Agat McKeer with surprise factor, surprise, surprise. But more importantly, we shouldn't have been shocked. So far, every tournament game off the bench, she's had double figures. She's ascending at the perfect time, averaging around 15 points per game. So we now know she is capable at this moment. But most importantly, y'all, I love how they went back to Joyce Edwards as well.
Yeah.
Joyce Edwards, it was not perfect, it was not pretty at times, but it was powerful. You win at this level by rebounding, and they were relentless. That was a separation factor. I said this matchup was going to be about finesse or force. South Carolina is force. They did not finish the way that they normally do, but she was forceful at the basket, at the rim, getting downhill, getting those attempts up. So I was very impressed with Joyce Edwards as well, alongside Agat McKeer.
When are you foul prone? When when you give up offensive rebounds, you're prone to fouling. And when players can get on hips of defenders, South Carolina did both of those things so well.
Yeah, UConn has not been held below 50 points in any game since the 2022 game against South Carolina. That was a loss as well. All right, 62-48, the final there. Coach Dawn Staley mentioned that Gino Auriemma said something to her post-game about the fact that she didn't shake his hand pre-game. And we want to show you that video really fast. This is the pre-game video.
That's pregame?
This is pregame. And she did say that she went up and shook everybody's hand on that staff. She didn't know. Maybe Gino remembers it a little bit differently than what we just saw there.
Yeah, or, I mean, you're never going to know what they said to each other. Like, it's loud in here, who knows? But all that matters really is there was frustration, probably from the game, boiling over as well.
There were a number of miscues. That could be one, and also Sarah Strong's jersey was a miscue because I know he was mad about that as well.
But she ripped it herself.
Exactly.
So,
So
it's a lot going on when it's this intense.
Overall, the word is the one that Andrea used earlier. It is tension.
Yeah.
There was a lot of tension in that matchup, and it was a really good one. 62-48, the final. South Carolina with the win. So South Carolina and Dawn Staley will play on Sunday in the national championship game for the 5th appearance for Staley, tied for the 4th most all-time. Only Gino Auriemma, who she just knocked off, of course. Pat Summitt and Muffet McGraw have more. Corey Close playing in her second Final Four matchup. She caught up with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, back in a Final Four, back-to-back years, but this team is very different. What do you expect tonight from this group?
Well, in order to move on in this thing, you got to be the best version of yourself. So I want them to play free and aggressive. I don't want them to hold back at all. I want them to be the aggressors at every point. And I just want them to enjoy this. I think they put a lot of pressure on themselves last year, and I think they're primed to do something a little bit more free and aggressive.
You have the luxury in that you've already faced Texas once this year. It was a long time ago, your only loss. What did you learn in that point that you can put into action tonight?
Well, they sort of punked us. First half, it was sort of a gut punch, and we really needed to fight back and respond. And I think we really realized that if you're not coming out and being the aggressor, it's going to be tough. And Texas does such a good job, and we got to get stops. Everyone talks about their defense, but we got to get stops so that we can play the way we want to play on offense.
Thank you so much, Coach.
You bet. Thank you, Holly.
Just minutes away from Coach getting a chance at redemption. And over on ESPN2, you can watch the game from another perspective. Jess Sims, Alona Maher, and the Stud Buds for courtside at the Women's Final Four presented by AT&T. But first, if number 35 for Texas gives you shades of another number 35 that put on burnt orange, that would make sense. We'll talk about how Maddie Booker takes some cues from Kevin Durant a little bit later in the show. And this is a familiar opponent, UCLA for Texas, who will look to avenge their loss earlier in the season. Also, they have really been in their bag with the dance moves lately. Here's a look at where it all began.
Iron cast back with the Capital One Saver Card.
What do you think of the Final Four, Dr. Naismith?
It's a flame. I think you mean lit. Come on, Ralph.
I wrote the rules, and you, sir, are overruled. Just what I do.
Take the chip, then you dip it in the cheese.
Is that a Garmin musket?
Called the T-shirt cannon.
Oh, ingenious.
When we set out to build the first ever Telluride, we challenged everything, pushed harder, went farther, much, much farther. Because that's how you take great to greater. The first ever Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid.
Wrangler for the ride of life.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access and highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
We always talk about the lost art of the mid-range.
Structure is good, don't get me wrong, but
I'm a basketball player. Like, you don't define yourself as like a position.
Durant goes up. It's the mid-range shot. That's just unguarded.
The mid-range is a lost art, but Madison Booker has made it a masterpiece.
you maximize your players when you just let them play.
Find a spot, perfect it. Jab, step, one dribble, pull, anything.
Let's take a look at our connection that matters presented by AT&T, and that is Durant and Booker with the mid-range. Durant is second in the NBA with nearly 200 makes, while Booker leads the nation with 153. And as Janae said, more than nearly every Division I team. Janae, I know that's your girl. Mid-range Maddie, how are those two teams, or two players, excuse me, so similar?
One thing I love about working with Andrea Carter is the fact that you understand that basketball is a universal language. We both cover men's and women's hoops. And honestly, in this instance, we make the exception because the only best comp for Madison Booker is Kevin Durant. Same number, same school, and same shot. Masters of the mid-range. This is her automatic shot. She knows where she's going. She does not see the defense like John Cena and is able to knock it down. Look at the same play when Kevin Durant was a Longhorn in college. It mirrors side by side. Mind you, Kevin Durant averaged 26 at Texas. Maddie Booker is averaging 23 in the tournament right now, playing her best basketball.
You show the mid-range, and they can also both get into their bag. Look at the back down, spin move, eyes find the rim, fade away. Kevin Durant doing that same thing in the NBA. It is impossible to guard that shot. Watch them do it at the same time. Back down, take contact, turn around, eyes find the rim, bottom of the net. The level that Madison Booker, the level of pro moves that she has in her bag makes her so tough to guard.
And she's so young. The fact that she's over there looking like KD at this point in her career at Texas is wild. So Texas taking on UCLA for the second time this season. What do you expect to see out of this matchup today?
Well, we're excited when we talk about UCLA, and I love what Corey Close told Holly Rowe in terms of they have to come out and be the aggressor. Shay, do you want to get into a little Biggie Smalls moment?
We absolutely should, because when we're talking about UCLA, they have a big mama in the paint, and that is Lauren Betts. She's the most double player in this NCAA tournament. First of all, they operate with great spacing, improved three-point shooting ability, shoot around 40% from three. That allows her to operate. The double team is going to come, but it's too late. They're even leaving Gianna Neepkins open, who shoots 44% over the last 2 years from three. By the time she gets the ball, she always keeps it high, and she finishes so well. She's automatic, averaging 23, shooting 68% from the field. But this play right here, I saw it in my dreams. It's the back screen. Ironically, they call this play Texas. Only Lauren Betts and Charlize Ledger-Walker can execute this. Off the sideline, the perfect lob. She keeps it high, knocks it down, and then she turns up a little bit for the women of Westwood.
I love that play because you have to depend on guards to get the ball into the bigs. And you mentioned Charlize Ledger-Walker. She's averaging 7 assists per game in the NCAA tournament. Watch Duke. Taina Mayer is going to jump here. Gianna Neepkins is going to go back door. That's how you beat a pressure defense. Who runs a pressure defense? Texas runs a pressure defense. Backdoor cuts will be so important. And I mentioned Gianna Neepkins. She is added to this team to space the floor. Watch this action. The cross screen for Lauren Betts is going to get 2 defenders in the paint. Now, there's options here. If the defender closes out, you can go with a high-low. If the defender on the wing goes to help, then you kick it to Charlize Ledger-Walker, and she's open for a shot. None of that happens, so Gianna Neepkins knocks it down. 43% for her career from beyond the arc. She will need all of those threes to fall because that is not a strong suit for Texas. If Gianna Neepkins can knock down a few threes, that can create some separation early for UCLA.
UCLA talks about how when they played Texas, they had to change their game plan a little bit, and they did that moving forward throughout the entire season. Vic Schaefer also talks about how his team has evolved, and he stopped by with Holly Rowe.
Coach, you're the only coach in history to bring 2 different teams to the Final Four, Mississippi State, Texas, back-to-back years. What do you know about this moment in this stage that you can pass on to your team?
Well, again, you're going to win tonight. You got to do some things right. You know, we've got to really do a good job executing both ends of the floor. Attention to detail is very, very important. And obviously, when you play great teams, you know, taking care of the ball security, execution, you're going to win this game on half-court offense, half-court defense. At the end of the day, I know we all like to go out and transition. Everybody likes seeing all that. But at the end of the day, that's what you win with. So tonight, there's a real premium on that.
In the half-court, Lauren Betts presents a huge challenge. How do you manage that and navigate the paint?
Yeah, I think, again, it's not one person is going to handle that. We do have some size down there that she's probably not used to going against, but at the end of the day, she's a great player, and it's going to take more than just my 5 players to deal with her. And, you know, we've got a system in place. We've had it for a long time on how to guard post players, but you got to go execute it now.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.
So I'm grateful
Hey man, we just saw the South Carolina's defense carry them to the title game. What will it take for Texas to do the same? We'll talk about that right after this.
You're watching NCAA Women's Final Four Studio, presented by Capital One.
Ollie asks, do you have wellness goals this year?
Hello?
Girl, put your phone down.
I got you.
Start small with a daily multi.
What does it do?
Our multi's got you, from immune system support to heart health to bone health.
That's so easy.
So easy. Just 2 gummies a day.
Now that's going in the chat.
BK, ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv.
So all out-of-market games, live or on demand, plus all your favorite sports on ESPN. We need to tell the people, Carl.
We're doing it right now.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. All out-of-market games, live or on demand, all in one place.
New Breyers Sunday Swirls. Our classic vanilla, now loaded with truffles and caramel. This is how you Sunday.
Get the membership that backs the future you are building. The Business Platinum Card from American Express.
Sparkle is here to save the day and save you money.
See, it's just right for everyday messes.
That's great. Day saved, money saved, juice, not so much.
We're the Kalamas.
Renovating houses in Hawaii isn't easy.
Tưởng sẽ bùng nổ tại sự đẹp đạp gió.
But doing it in paradise, worth every battle.
Success!
Renovation Aloha, all new Tuesday night at 8 on HGTV.
Almost everything at Old Navy is 40 to 50% off. Let's jump to our deals diva live at the store.
Easter fashion has never looked so good. Which one says, Easter Bunny, call me?
This one?
Oh, great choice. Excuse me.
Hi.
NCAA Women's Final Four Studio is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
And their defense is amazing, and they ask a lot of you, like, offensively.
The great size, great aggression, great mid-range game, great leadership.
The number one thing is obviously Lauren Betts. She's controlling the pace as much as she can. They have really great three-point shooters as well.
We know we've got to bring it, and we've got to be ready to go on Friday.
Booker, what a crossover, and the connection.
Cougar Leach, offensive rebound. Good if it goes, and she gets it.
That game tipping off in just a few moments. I want to talk a little bit more about that because, again, the word that we used in the first game was tension. These two teams played one another earlier in the season. It was UCLA's only loss on the season. Do you expect to see that same type of tension in this next matchup?
I don't know if it's going to feel like tension because I don't know if there's anything that compares to UConn, South Carolina right now. But to me, the intensity, I think we can expect the same level of intensity from both of these teams.
Yeah, especially when it comes to their seniors. Rory Harmon, get to know her name. She plays with heart. I mean, she's literally the heart of Texas. She leads their defense, and she's someone who is #1 in their program in assists and in steals. And on the other side, Lauren Betts, as a senior, someone that leads through example, through her consistency. It's going to be interesting to see how both of them lead.
So you just mentioned two seniors who will be playing in their final matchup if they do lose. So who do you expect to have the biggest night tonight?
Oh, for different reasons, I might go Rory Harmon. She had 26 points in their first matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll be able to duplicate that, but her heart is how she motivates her squad and especially leads the defense.
Yeah, I was going to say, you took the thing right out of my head. But also the way she can be the point of attack and fighting over the top of ball screens, underrated skill. People don't appreciate it, but it's a big deal.
All right, UCLA trying to get their first ever title appearance, and Texas for their second. Tip-off for the game starts right after this. Let's see at the half.
I feel compelled to say action.
We never asked them to be the best. We just expected them to do their best.
So sports has always been a foundational part of our family. I just knew they always had my back. Family is the most important thing. And so that's what drives me.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Sports was just like icing on the cake.
You know, before Tatum was Tatum, I actually scouted him at a Dick's just like this.
Isn't that Tatum by the Tatums?
Yep, still putting the work in.
Can we get some more Tatums in here?
Never have enough Tatums.
You know what I see, Diana? I see the future and the present under the same roof. We got Sabrina down there just giving back to the community.
You seeing all this talent?
Yep.
You guys want to help?
We're good. What's next? Stefan Castle just being unfair to the next Stefan Castle? Unfair, Stefan. I live for that type of action. This is the best of the best. It's the pinnacle of sport. I love it here.
This is the road to the NBA Finals on ESPN and ABC. Greatness is up for grabs, and it's all happening now.
Just wait.
The NBA playoffs begin Saturday, April 18th on ESPN and ABC.
Pampers Swaddlers, the #1 brand for sleep.
Because sometimes we feel bad, even when it's for their own good. Because you're only human, there's Hills.
I cast my hands in cement so I wouldn't snack.
What about wonderful pistachios? They're tasty and healthy.
Ah, pistachios! Why didn't I think of that? Ow!
Wine's always had its rules. Chill in a wine fridge. Serve in a wine glass. Never add ice. Yeah, we're not doing that. A delicious combo of citrusy Sauvignon Blanc and bright Pinot Grigio. Josh Seller's Sea Sweat, a wine that's refreshing the rules.
For me, home is always moving. So, wherever the day takes me, I let myself feel it all. Fiore, DreamNet.
Welcome to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. You are watching the Final Four presented by AT&T. South Carolina is through to the national championship game. Who will join them? Will it be Texas or UCLA? Texas seeking their first title game appearance since 1986. UCLA, their first ever NCAA title game appearance. Here we go.
When the players enter and the light is cast, the focus is set to extreme. In the frenetic cameras and the anxious crowd, the clicks are calls to action. Moments will enter the timeless space where memory and myth intertwine. So much passion, perceived from every angle, imprinted on every mind as they perform the role of a lifetime.
These magic moments.
Now they have the chance to rise and be immortalized.
Here we go. Another spot in the national championship game on the line. Tonight, South Carolina ended UConn's 54-game winning streak. And will they face UCLA or Texas Sunday on ABC? As we welcome you courtside once again, Ryan Ruocco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for this second Final Four matchup here on ESPN. You know, for Texas, they are a team that has just had it all clicking over their 12-game winning streak. And that has meant an incredibly efficient and productive Madison Booker.
Madison Booker simply is a bucket getter, and she gets most of them in her mid-range game. In the NCAA tournament, she's averaging over 22 points a game, 9 boards, doing it efficiently. Coach Vic Schaefer said, I want her hunting shots, and this is why. So pretty when she gets to that mid-range, also can step out to 3, but certainly the catalyst offensively for Texas.
130 of the 160 minutes Texas has played in this tournament, they have led by double digits. Meanwhile, for UCLA, they are led by their 6'7" center, Lauren Betts.
Lauren Betts is the anchor inside for the Bruins, and she's a dominant force on both ends of the floor. Averages 17 points, 2 blocks per game. When she carves out space in the paint, there's not much you can do to defend her or score over her. She is going to be vitally important to UCLA's success today.
And how about this nugget? 89% of UCLA's points come from their senior class, highest by a Final Four team in tournament history. Time to send things over to another Hall of Famer. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, as you mentioned, these two teams met before this season, and Texas guard Rory Harmon went off 26 points in that game. And after that game, the UCLA guards, Kiki Rice and Charlize Ledger-Walker, went to their coach, Corey Close, and said, we've got to change our defense. They were laying off of her, giving her space to account for her speed, and they said, we don't like that. We want to be up in people's grill, be more offensive, and be more aggressive. Corey Close listened to her players, and they have changed the way they defend. Those two players limit opponents to 33% down from the field when they are the primary defender, and you're going to see that here tonight. They are going to get up in Rory Harmon's face, pressure her, particularly the first 10 minutes of the game. Good coaching from Corey Close to listen to her players.
All right, Ollie, it is time to get to know UCLA a little bit better. Now it's time for the Capital One Meet the Players.
It really is a revolution.
I'm number 51, Lauren Betts, and this is my team. Kiki Rice, but on our team we call her Gagai. Gabriella Hakas, we call her All Gas Gabs. Our little Kiwi from New Zealand, Miss Charlize Ledger-Walker. From Minnesota, Gianna Neepkins, otherwise known as Neat Neat. Our fearless leader, Miss Coriana Corey Close.
Well, Corey Close, in her 15th season leading UCLA, has taken them to their only two Final Fours in the NCAA era. And Vic Schaefer, his sixth season at the helm of Texas. They are in back-to-back Final Fours for the first time since 1987. Let's get to know Vic's players a little bit better. Time for the Capital One Meet the Players.
What's up, y'all? Bree Preston, meet your starting five for the Texas Longhorns. First up, we got Rory Harmon, the locksmith, a.k.a. your defensive nightmare. We got Jordan Lee, a.k.a. Green Bean. We got Justice Carlton, Body J. We got Madison Booker, mid-range specialist.
All right, what? This is a movie poster or something?
Last but not least, Brea Cunningham, Paint Patrol. Leading ahead of the snake, we got Coach Schaefer, a.k.a. Shape Shape.
Oh, there's nothing quite like Coach Schaefer's scuba there in the middle of his Texas team. Another spot in the national championship game on the line tonight after South Carolina's dominant defensive performance against UConn. Will it be UCLA or will it be Texas to join them? Rebecca, these two teams met earlier in the regular season. A 76-65 Texas win. UCLA's only loss this season. They have won 29 straight games since that moment.
Certainly a big key for UCLA always is, can they get Lauren Betts involved on the offensive end of the floor? In the first meeting, Texas did an admirable job limiting Betts.
Texas has just bludgeoned opponents.
It's on me, fellas. I earned cash back with the Capital One Saver Card.
What do you think of the Final Four, Dr. Naismith?
It's a flame. I think you mean lit. Come on, Ref.
I wrote the rules, and you, sir, are overruled. Just what I do.
Take the chip, then you dip it in the cheese.
Is that a Garmin musket?
Called the T-shirt cannon.
Oh, ingenious.
Naismith!
Dad, share the pic.
Can you share the photo?
The pic.
Okay.
Whoa, that turned out great, man.
Yeah, AT&T gave me the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra on them. No expensive plan, no annoying boyfriend either. Gone. Bye. Boop.
Come on, Carl.
All right.
Share it. There you go. You should give him a chance.
I should have given boarding school a chance.
Get the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra on us with eligible trade-in. Any condition. Most expensive plan not required.
At Burger King, celebrities don't rule the menu. You do.
So tell us, what do you want?
I want a peppercorn BLT Whopper.
It's stacked with bacon, Swiss, and peppercorn aioli. Try the latest in the Whopper by You series today.
Here's another tip from the Shack Yard. How to run a fast break.
A clean sweep doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen the same day. This is what we call a blowout, Phil.
New Balance. We got now.
In right center field, and the umpire, I thought he was going to call it a ground rule double. He indicates home run. Wow. What a change of events. Let's take another look at this. Center fielder coming over. He was calling out the right fielder, had his hand up trying to find the ball in the sun. Oh, he ran up.
UCLA, a 14-6 lead after one. They hold Texas to a season low for points and a quarter. Holly Rowe will chat with Vic Schaefer on the other side here in Phoenix.
Smile so big that your eyes crinkle back in your face. Laugh so loud you can hear it from outer space. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna know you. I really wanna talk to you. I really wanna. Really wanna talk to you. I really wanna.
Don't just like somebody on the app. Like them in real life. She likes you. Say hello. Hello. Legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time.
Bringing you College Game Day takes an all-star team. So when it's their time to shine, we make sure they have what they need to succeed. We champion the talent on our team, same way you champion yours. Principal, proud sponsor of College Game Day.
New plan.
Hey Google, what's the fastest way to the pier?
When you have everything you need to unlock your best workout, like free fitness training and best-in-class equipment, you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Get stronger with free fitness training at Planet Fitness. Join for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
You ready?
Planet Fitness. We're all strong.
Well, UCLA, a 14-6 lead after the first quarter in this Final Four matchup. Moments ago, Holly Rowe caught up with Texas head coach Vic Schaefer.
Well, Coach Schaefer, a low-scoring first quarter for you. What is UCLA doing to make that so difficult right now?
I don't think they're doing as much as we're doing to ourselves. We're just not taking very good shots. We've taken some really bad shots. We've taken some forced jump shots. We're not attacking the rim. When we do get to our spots, we just hadn't made them. But I don't think it's them as much as us.
How do you fix it?
Well, I think you got to address it, and you got to keep talking to them about it. I mean, we've run some good stuff. We got late in the shot clock a couple times. Rory's got to get us in something a little quicker. And then defensively, our four players have both given up 2 3-pointers. So we got to get a little better there, too, on defense.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, praise the Lord and good morning.
All right, thank you, Holly. Thank you, Vic. Well, this is the second game of the night, and the first one, a dominant South Carolina win with an incredible defensive performance. But the headline is going to be these fireworks. Now, pregame, Dawn Staley and Gino Auriemma had shaken hands when they first came out, but then Gino apparently thought Dawn was going to come back out for a handshake. Gino then ended up walking back alone. There was still little time left on the clock. Dawn did shake hands with all the other assistants afterwards and said, I would never do that. I would never do that. And Gino at the podium moments ago said, I said what I said.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I did not check who was behind me at the game. Dude, she just pointed at me. That's crazy. Checking Allstate first was the right move. I love you! I love you! Not checking who was sitting behind me was humbling.
That's her mom. That's Mrs. Betts.
Yeah, check Allstate first. You could save hundreds. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
I'm a Denny's Super Slam with our Slammin' Meal Deal starting at $5.99, all under $10 and available all day and all night. Pancakes for dinner, burger for breakfast, live your best life. Enjoy our Slammin' Meal Deals available all day and all night.
Dove Beauty Bar does far more than clean.
It's going to moisturize my skin. I use it to take off my makeup, to help me shave. Look at that glow. Look how pretty these babies are.
With 1/4 moisturizing cream, it's amazing what Dove Beauty Bar can do.
Big time, best time, all the time. Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
Oski, wow, wow, Illinois. With your orange and your blue, rah, rah. You are Husky. Hail Arizona
Pull yourself together. We have work to do. And by we, I mean you.
Rated PG-13.
After review, UCLA number 51 clearly and conclusively touches the ball last. Therefore, the call on the floor is overturned. It will be Texas basketball with a new 30-second shot clock. Additionally, Texas will not be charged for a timeout for the successful appeal.
Oh, there's Connor Hickson and that twirling finger of his, now 10 of 11 on the season.
He's the coordinator of video analytics. Now, Texas had the most appeals all season of any of the 4 teams here in the Final Four, and he has the greatest success rate of any team here in the Final Four, so give some love to Connor.
A 6-20-17 lead at the half. Winner faces South Carolina Sunday afternoon on ABC. Lauren Betts is standing by with Holly.
Lauren, your team's gotten off to a strong start in that first quarter. What drove that?
I mean, I think it's just our mentality defensively. We're limiting them to one shot, so we just have to continue to play hard on the defensive side.
Texas is such a physical team. You guys knew that coming in. How do you think you've handled this so far?
I think we've handled it well, but we need to do a better job. There's still 20 minutes left in this game, so we got to continue to come out aggression, stop playing so much on the perimeter, get inside, be aggressive.
Said by the big.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Well, Lauren Betts and UCLA a 3-point lead at the half. Studio crew coming up next with Janae, Dre, and Christine. We're going to hear from Gino Auriemma after his confrontation with Dawn Staley following UConn's loss to South Carolina. We'll hear from Gino coming up at the half.
Thanks, Ryan. Welcome to the Dove Clinical Plus Care Halftime Report. Janae Gumke, Andrea Carter, and Christine Williamson here. It's a 3-point ball game here in the second game of our Final Four matchups. UCLA up 3. We just heard from Lauren Betts, the big in this matchup. Janae, what have you seen out of her in the first half?
Yeah, UCLA has 1 loss on the year, and it's to Texas, and that might actually have been the best thing for them because they have the experience going up against the pressure, particularly.
Yeah, when we talk about the guard play, Rory Harmon and Gianna Neepkins have both been solid on both ends. Rory offensively playing with confidence. Gianna Neepkins for UCLA, she's crafty, using her 3-point shot, but she's getting in the paint as well. my eyes are on Madison Booker because she's pressing. It's a 3-point game and she's pressing. I know mid-range is her specialty, but to continue going to it, to me, they've got to get her something going to the rim to get something easy. She's long, she's athletic. Yes, she can elevate, but get her something going to the rim.
Maddie, just 2 points in this ball game so far at the half. The winner of this one takes on South Carolina. That was our first game of the night. We're going to start third quarter. South Carolina up 6, and Joyce Edwards.
What's best for the game, but watching Gino Arama, he's one of the greatest we've ever seen as coaches, but I do not like the behavior that I saw. I know it was a tough night, but overall, that shouldn't happen.
It was all handled so poorly on Gino's part, like actually shockingly so, right? Because you never really see Gino act like that. You mentioned the interview with Holly where he called out Don Staley, then post-game. To me, it almost feels like, because it's so bad and it's so out of line, it almost feels like it was on purpose. Because the fact is, his players got outplayed. The entire game, his players were outplayed. South Carolina's players played better. But what are we talking about? Gino Ariema against Don Staley. We're taking attention off of the game where South Carolina dominated to talk about Gino's behavior.
So UConn's 54-game win streak snapped with that loss to South Carolina. They are facing the winner of this matchup in the national title game. That game on Sunday. And Lauren Betts hoping it's her team to take the win. She has 3 points in this one. UCLA up 3 points at the half. We'll be right back after this.
This halftime report is presented by Dove Clinical Plus Care. 96-hour sweat protection plus skin care.
Sorry, bud. Not while I weed. Hey! Who let the dogs out?
Spruce, a new weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees for dead weeds in just 1 day. Spruce, pet-friendly, weed-deadly.
The nice thing about the middle of nowhere is it's in the middle of nowhere. Get an Airbnb and go where hotels can't.
Go ahead, crank the volume. We got you. USPS has increased daily package processing capacity by 46% in the past 5 years. And with USPS Ground Advantage, your packages stay in our secure network, dock to door, nationwide. For full visibility, near real-time tracking, affordable pricing, for peace of mind. USPS Ground Advantage.
A packed weekend and rugged trucks built to handle every adventure.
Pampers Swaddlers keeps babies dry.
Porque viajar es emocionante, pero dejarlos cuesta. Dales más amor de lo humanamente posible con las fórmulas científicamente comprobadas de Hills. Como humanos tenemos límites, pero existe Hills.
That gum's dull. A fancy cube. Cooling flavor crystals. Fancier. Too fancy. Just the right amount of fancy. Icebreakers. Ooh, fancy.
You think this is how I got my tan?
Think again. Create your own sunshine with Jergens Natural Glow.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor. Here for a limited time. Chipotle, for real.
Welcome back to the Dove Clinical Plus Care Halftime Report.
Half coming very shortly. We'll be right back.
Dove Clinical Plus Care is for the girls that blow dry sweat, hot flash sweat, first toast sweat. We've got you with serum-infused, skin-softening, unbeatable sweat protection. Dove Clinical Plus Care is care that gets sweat.
The Nissan Rogue takes hit after hit. Punished under immense pressure. And exposed to excessive wear. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality. We put it through the worst, so you get its best.
All right, here we go, right?
New plan.
Hey Google, what's the fastest way to the pier?
The Whopper has never tasted better. Over a quarter pound of flame-grilled beef, crisp produce, a perfectly toasted bun, every detail stacked just right. Whether it's been weeks or years, try the Whopper again, just $3.99 on Wednesdays.
For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student-athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. And scholarships have grown. The NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student-athletes first.
Herbal Essences. It's a scent they won't forget.
Red Bull gives you wings.
It's the dog park.
Protect your pet with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Get the #1 Ultra Soft Tissue that's allergist approved. Grab Kleenex.
As a dentist and a mother, I know that having strong enamel is essential to preventing cavities. Children's baby teeth have 50% thinner enamel than adult teeth. Pronamel Kids provides 24-hour cavity protection and 2 times stronger enamel defense. That's why my kids use Pronamel Kids.
Something happens when you put crispy, all-white meat chicken nuggets inside a Crunchwrap slider with your choice of sauce inside. What happens is, probably ordering one of each. The new Crispy Chicken Crunchwrap Slider, a brand new classic, only at Taco Bell.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. You are watching the Final Four presented by AT&T. Getting ready to start the third quarter of UCLA and Texas. UCLA a 20-17 lead on Texas. South Carolina already through to the national championship game Sunday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Hey again, everybody. Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Time now for a slam dunk matchup brought to you by Wendy's. How about the defense from Lauren Betts in that first half?
She had one block, but she was incredibly impactful, especially contesting Madison Booker there. Sort of drop coverage, but then is able to switch on out. Just a long defensive presence around the rim. Madison Booker with the pull-up. Outstretched arm to contest it. Fade away once again. 6'7". Outstretched arm. She was a big part of the reason that Madison Booker struggled so much in that first half.
Now for tonight's Need to Know, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Lauren Betts holding Texas to 1 of 8 when contesting shots. Madison Booker 0 for 5 against Betts in that first half. Both teams with their fewest points in any half this season. 37 combined, the second fewest in a half in Final Four history. Rory Harmon 4 of 6. The rest of Texas 4 for 26. UCLA has won 72 straight games.
This is Vic Schaefer's version of the Texas two-step.
You know, before Tatum was Tatum, I actually scouted him at a Dick's just like this.
Isn't that Tatum by the Tatums?
Yep, still putting the work in.
Can we get some more Tatums in here? Never have enough Tatums.
You know what I see, Diana? I see the future and the present under the same roof. We got Sabrina down there just giving back to the community.
You seeing all this talent?
Yep.
You guys want to help? We're good.
What's next? Stefan Castle just being unfair to the next Stefan Castle? Unfair, Stefan. I live for that type of action. This is the best of the best. It's the pinnacle of sport. Love it here.
Lime in, clock out. Corona, La Playa awaits. Lime in, clock out. Corona, La Playa awaits.
next generation to show the world what they're made of.
With the first pick in the NFL Draft.
The NFL Draft, April 23rd through 25th.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
Flight deck. Engaging new Wi-Fi in 3, 2, 1.
We're live and lag-free.
It's the fastest, most reliable high-speed Wi-Fi in the sky.
So it's Wi-Fi that actually works?
Affirmative.
Copy. That's one giant leap for in-flight Wi-Fi. Did we mention it's free?
To me, being authentic is just being who you are. My style is classic, more simple, and I feel like that's the way that I play basketball too. It just gets the job done, but it looks good. TJ Maxx. Max, what makes you, you.
Good gods, I love Native. Yo, we should give this to the mortals. You deserve Native deodorant. It's got 6 clean ingredients. And it smells... divine. It's not a myth.
It's Native.
Get it!
Let's go. Shake it down, my nigga, go and get yourself a whistle and go.
New Balance. We got now.
Thought they were cooling off on the sidelines? Well, they're just getting warmed up.
Surprise! DirecTV got hot.
Hey, you know, I played in high school.
Really?
Well, I went to high school. I didn't go to high school.
Anyway, it's never been easier to keep up with your favorite sports on live TV and streaming apps.
So hot.
Wait, there's no ice in yours.
Why would I ruin a perfectly good bath?
Introducing the Great Clips $12.99 haircut coupon. Because Great Clips gets that March is the best, but that hair is the worst. So get the Great Clips $12.99 haircut coupon and look as tournament ready as you feel.
I'm gonna go to Disney World.
Boy, I'd love to go to the Super Bowl one day. Maybe we can.
I'm ready. Me too.
Sir, I've chartered a flight pass to the Super Bowl. This is the way.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
We gotta move.
Be on your best behavior.
One big happy family.
I'm going too.
Everybody got their ticket?
See you in 2027.